We're back here at Greater Zion Stadium on the campus of Utah Tech University as we get ready for the 1A state championship game and the national anthem coming up here as they bring out the ROTC to make their way toward midfield here at Utah Tech University's brand new Greater Zion Stadium. I'll tell you what, they've done a great job in upgrading the facilities here and making it just to continue to make it a better place for fans, students, family members to come watch football games here at Utah Tech University. For the national anthem, we will do our best to try to make sure we get you the audio there from the national anthem. But, Scott, your thoughts?
Well, it's Veterans Day. I just wanted to give a quick shout-out to all the veterans and, the sacrifices and the commitment. And I think it embodies everything we love about our nation. And I just want to give a shout-out to all those who have served or are currently serving and our gratitude and thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I just wanted to throw that in there just as we see the Armed Forces presenting the colors.
And again, we'll have the national anthem. As she steps out to sing that, we'll bring you that audio here at Greater Zion Stadium.
That's be great.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rugged red through the night that our pride was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Great rendition of the national anthem.
Yeah, beautiful and powerful voice.
Yes, it was.
Really a great job. Hey, one more just quick announcement, Robert. Tickets are sold out online, but for anybody traveling to the game or watching, you can get tickets here at the stadium. I talked to the USHA, and they said tickets will be available at the venue.
All right, let's jump into Coach Stowers' comments real quick. We might have to cut them short as the game's getting ready to go, but we'll hear what he had to say for just a moment here inside the Snow College pregame show. We're joined now by Coach Ray Stowers of the Layton Christian Eagles at the 1A state championship game at Greater Zion Stadium going up against Kanab. Coach, first off, looking at your team, got the 24-3 win last week over Milford in the semifinals. Where do you feel like your team is at coming into this state championship game today?
I feel like we're ready. We're in a good place, and we just got to build off of last week, and we got to get this thing, one more. We just got one more to go.
Going up against the Kanab team that you beat in the semis last year in a close game and beat them earlier this year, what do you expect to see from them?
I'm sure they have made adjustments, and we'll probably see a different team today. We'll be ready.
When you look at your team, it seems to start with number 2, Josiah Judges-Mawala. What do you need to see out of him today?
Ball security and just take care of the football, run hard. That's it. That's all it is.
What do you want to see out of Jose at quarterback today and out of the passing game?
Get the ball where it needs to, and just be a great facilitator today.
When you look at this Kanab team, anybody feel like you got to slow down on their team?
99. That's it, 99.
All right, what do you do to try to slow him down in the passing game?
Maybe double coverage. Get after the quarterback.
Anybody else in there you feel like you got to try to get pressure on?
Just play great sound defense. That's it. And offense got to, we got to roll. And that's all it is.
No doubt your team starts in the trenches. What do you need to see out of your line play today against Kanab, who looked really good last week against Enterprise?
Great get off. And, again, we just got to play gap sound defense. And, it all starts in the trenches with those big guys up front.
How's the health of your team coming into this game?
Pretty good. We'll see. We're not 100%, but we'll try. We'll do our best today.
What 2 or 3 things have to happen today for your team to get the state championship?
Great ball security, great defense, great special teams.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for joining us, and good luck today.
Thank you.
Once again, Coach Ray Stowers there of the Layton Christian Eagles here inside the Snow College pregame show, and we are ready for kickoff of the first state championship game of the day. 4 games here at Greater Zion Stadium today, with Beaver San Juan coming up at 1 o'clock, Juab Morgan at 4, and Desert Hills Crimson Cliffs at 7 o'clock tonight in the 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A classifications.
What a day of football.
Yeah, great day of football and great weather for it here in St. George. So we are set and ready to go for the opening kickoff. Again, Kanab won the coin toss. They deferred to the second half, and so they will kick off as Layton Christian has elected to receive. And Griffin Bones set to kick it away for the Kanab Cowboys. Do you have any Kane School District keys to the game here as we get going, Scott?
Line of scrimmage. Honestly, I think it's going to come down to the defensive and offensive lines for these two teams. If the Kanab Cowboys defensive line can slow down that offensive line for Layton Christian, that will be the key to the game. And on the other side, it'll be the balance for the Kanab Cowboys versus the balance for the Layton Christian Eagles. I think it comes down to both.
Griffin Bones kickoff sailed into the end zone over the heads of Eli Tagidugu and Malik Johnson. So Layton Christian will start with the ball on their own 20-yard line with 12 minutes to go here in the first quarter on the Kane County Hospital scoreboard. Johnson will go wide left, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Ribeiro in the shotgun formation with Jaichus Moala to his left in the backfield, 7 in the box for the Kanab defense. Ribeiro again in the shotgun, 5 yards deep, takes a snap, hands it off to Moala as he drags defenders down the field for a 7 or 8 yard gain across the 25-yard line.
Yeah, for the Kanab Cowboys, Daya was on that, but Moala just drug him through the middle of the line for about 8 yards.
Yeah, Brandon Daya had a big game last week against Enterprise. You're going to need him to play big once again here today. We talked about where will Kaysen Janes be, and right now they've got him playing that middle linebacker position. Ribeiro will go under center, with Moala about 7 yards deep in the backfield. Takes a snap, going to give it left side to Moala. Janes goes low, hits him and brings him down, but he's going to have enough for a Lumber Plus first down as he gets right to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, you saw Janes just knife in there just off the side of the tackle, and it was a great tackle, just too much initial yardage at the line of scrimmage.
So first and 10 for the Eagles, 2 plays, and a first down for Layton Christian Academy in this 1A state championship. Eagles looking for their first ever football state title, while the Cowboys are looking for their 10th. It's been 15 years, though, since they've won one.
It has.
2 receivers to the left, 1 wide right. Ribeiro back in the shotgun formation. Jaichus Moala to his left in the backfield. Janes showing pressure, brings the pressure up the middle. He's going to be a quarterback keeper by Ribeiro. He's going to get out to the outside and brought down by Parker Franklin after a 4-yard gain to the 34.
Kanab bit completely on that dive, and Ribeiro pulls that one up and goes out to the left side. Franklin did a good job because he was really the only person that stopped the 10-yard gain.
So it makes it 2nd down and 6 now for Layton Christian Academy.
I was impressed last week by just the power of Layton Christian's drives up the middle. It was impressive against the Tigers.
Johnson will come wide right with 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. They brought in Manu Vaitaki now at running back, have the Eagles. Ribeiro in the shotgun formation, Vaitaki to his right. Again, 7 in the box for Kanab. Fake the handoff, pass out to the flats, and nearly caught off the tip, but it will fall incomplete as he was looking for Eli Tagidugu there, and he's unable to haul that one in. 3rd and 6.
Yeah, Jackson Riddle. The pass was a little bit high. Jackson Riddle came up quickly from that cornerback position and just made sure he couldn't get it. But he did a really good job of getting up high all the way with the hands, even having a chance for that ball.
Yeah, he tipped it up and nearly caught it off of his own tip. So the play clocks today are not working. They're just stuck at 0. So last week they saw those play clocks at SUU. Today they will not have them here at Utah Tech.
Might be more what they're used to.
Ribeiro under center. Vaitaki takes the handoff up the middle, lowers the shoulder, keeps on driving, not going to get the first down as Kanab's defense stands up. It'll be 4th and 1. So what does Coach Stowers do here?
Well, this is critical because, momentum in high school sports is everything, and the 4th and 1 in your own territory, I don't know. Is this the time to roll the dice in a championship game?
Doesn't look like it, as a lot of personnel are being changed out. That's why we talk about it and they coach it, right?
That's exactly right.
So they're going to bring on the punt team. Will Layton Christian. Waylon White back to receive, stands at about his own 30-yard line. 9:52 to go here in the first quarter. Kane County Hospital scoreboard. Good snap. Kick is away. Knuckleball kick lands at the 25-yard line. White picks it up off the bounce with pressure around him. He's going to be brought down at the 21-yard line. And so Kanab will have their first offensive series with 9:38 to go here in the first quarter.
Well, and I think that was a wise decision by White. That would have dribbled down inside the 10-yard line the way the bounce was looking. And so I think, and it was very
And it was
safe.
A high bounce, right at his chest.
Yeah, it was right at chest bounce, so not too dangerous for Waylon White. Good decision.
So Kanab takes it on their own 22-yard line. 9:38 to go here in quarter number one. Those keys that Scott talked about earlier are brought to you by Kane School District, providing students excellent instruction and empowering immeasurable opportunity. Kane County School District, every student, every day, rigor, relationships, relevance. Bone will be under center to start the game. He's going to hand off to Franklin. Franklin left side, got hit right at the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose a yard back to the 21, so 2nd and 11 for the Cowboys.
Yeah, absolutely nothing there. Matter of fact, the defensive line had pushed the offensive line back, and so Franklin couldn't even find a hole as his lineman was basically just pushed back right into the gap.
That left side of the line is where Kanab ran very successfully last week with Houston and Riddle having a big game, and so they tried to go right back to the well there. Bone under center. They're going to shift Janes and Stewart to the right side and go Janes out wide right. Wing to the right. Bone drops the pass. He's going to look for Janes. Back shoulder pass. Janes goes up and hauls it in off the tip. What a great catch by Kason Janes. Good defense there by Layton Christian, but Janes just made a better play.
Well, and that ball was not thrown very well. It was underthrown. Janes did a really good job of swimming through the receiver, not creating an offensive pass interference, stepped in front, and went up high for the ball. Gave himself a chance with the tip.
With that, a 17-yard gain on a Lumber Plus first down for the Cowboys. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. Again, they're going to shift Stewart and Janes. This time, Janes lines up as a tight end. Bone takes a snap. They're going to give to Gubler, trying to find some lead blockers, and he gets swallowed up in the backfield for a loss of 2 back to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, what a beautiful play on that left side. I didn't see the number, but just amazing play as he just swam right through the block to make that tackle.
Great job defensively by the Eagles of Layton Christian Academy. Is that Ellis? No, Ellis is back here.
Number 1.
Oh, it's Vitaki.
Yeah, it was Vitaki.
So 2nd down and 12 for the Cowboys at their own 36-yard line. 8:10 to go here in quarter number one of the 1A state championship game. They will go wide left. Bone will be under center. The wing to the right, lined up in a slot position. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff. Here comes the pass. Just a quick pass out to Janes. He can't break any tackles, though, as he is driven back. He's going to gain a yard is all to the 37, and it makes it 3rd and 11.
Yeah, very well played. Bone actually under pressure. He had to give that up immediately, and Layton Christian has watched that play, and they had that one scouted up perfectly. And the first cornerback slowed it down long enough that the help came to tackle James.
So it'll be a 3rd down and 11.
Kanab also without Travis Stewart. I watched that injury. It was a non-contact injury. First game of the season, and sad for that senior.
Going to move the tight end and the wing back again. They're going to move Janes out wide left this time. Bone under center, takes a snap. He does drop the pass, looking to the right side, looking for Brown, and overthrew him out of bounds. Brown had a step on the defender, but pass overthrown as it falls incomplete. 4th and long now for Kanab.
Yeah, the defender was behind, but on the angle, the defender had the angle, and so Bone had to throw that up and over, and that didn't allow, as you can see. Just trying to see that number. 20.
Max Montgomery.
Yeah, Montgomery had pretty good coverage, and angle-wise, he had perfect coverage.
So Kason James, we talked about him nearing 1,000 yards. He's picked up 18 receiving yards in this game. That puts him 20 yards shy of 1,000 receiving yards on the year.
That's great.
Bone lines up. He is the punter. So it looks like they might be going for it on 4th down, but Bone is the punter, 7 yards deep. And Kanab had the 2 guys slightly move. But
yes, they did.
They look to the sideline. They're getting the count from the back judge, and they're going to call timeout. So I'm not sure what happened there, but clearly a breakdown. Coach Kornberg coming out with his hands up, looking at his team like, what happened here? And so they're going to call a timeout. It is a Honey's Marketplace timeout featuring specialty items like gourmet burgers, crab salads, smoked ribs, fresh cut fruit, and bakery bread made from scratch every day, groceries, and so much more. That's Honey's Marketplace in Kanab. 7:11 to go in the first quarter on the Kane County Hospital scoreboard of the 1A State Championship on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network. Team Hive.live, powered by Citricom and V6 Media.
The big rig trucks of Robinson Transport of Salina have been rolling down Utah highways since the 1940s, supplying the energy needs of Utah and surrounding states. They're a family-owned business that supports the community. Robinson Transport also has a division that offers all types of cement work, gravel, and decorative rock. If you'd like to join the trustworthy team of Robinson Transport drivers or need cement work, call 435-529-7472, 529-7472, or upload your application online at RobinsonTransportUtah.com.
Live high school sports action on Centricom Channel 10, V6 Media, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Quickly back to the action here at Greater Zion Stadium as Bowen just gets a short punt away It'll be inside the 35-yard line, down to the 32 or 33-yard line for Layton Christian Academy, not returnable, and LCA will have their second offensive series as they come back out on the field.
Well, both teams with very short possessions. Layton Christian's first possession was a punt, 2:22 out of time of possession, 2:34 for the Kanab Cowboys. So I guess you could say Layton Christian slightly ahead, as now they're starting the 33 rather than the 20 where they started the first drive.
So first down and 10. They'll go Montgomery wide left, 2 receivers to the right. Chichester Mall about 7 yards, 8 yards off the ball in the backfield. Ribeiro will be under center. Takes a snap. Going to give to Moala on the left side. Had a nice hole to run through. Gets caught high. And we brought down, but not until he picks up 6 or 7 yards on the run.
Yeah, really a nice run on that left side. Great blocking up front. Daya steps in and stops some of the damage, but really good blocking. Huge hole to run through. And a good job by both of those players in stopping that run. It was actually number 22, Derek Brown, with the tackle.
6-yard run out to the 39-yard line for Moala. 3 carries for 16 yards. Now he's to the right in the backfield. Ribeiro in the shotgun takes a snap. He's going to give to Moala. Hit in the backfield and dragging James with him as he dives forward to pick up a Lumber Plus first down. That wasn't James, excuse me. That was Maddox Baird who caught him at the ankles. And Moala just drug him a couple of yards to get the first down.
Yeah, he had no business getting a first down. He was actually hit in the backfield, shrugged off 2 tackles, and then, like you said, just drug his way forward for the first down. And the power of Jaitrus Moala.
So first and 10 at the 44-yard line for the Eagles. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ribeiro under center with a wing back to the left. Takes a snap, fakes the pitch, inside handoff, coming back to the near side, hit and brought down will be Frederick Faw after a short gain out to the 48-yard line. A nice 4-yard gain for Faw.
Yeah, and Franklin actually, he stayed home on the play. A lot of the players bit to that left side fake, but Franklin did a nice job of stepping in and making the open field tackle.
First carry of the game for Faw. We saw him have a carry similar to that against Milford last week, and that was his only one of the game, was just that one. So we'll see if they come back to that play today or not.
Well, and so far what I'm seeing is a lot of open space. So far, Kanab's been able to make the tackles, but that offensive line for Layton Christian right now winning the battles.
Tagidugu goes in motion. He's going to come back. They're going to give to Tagidugu on the sweep. Got a block, cuts inside, gets tripped up and dropped, but he's right at the first down marker. Looks to have enough for another Lumber Plus first down.
Yeah, a lot of room to run, and when you give athletes space to run, bad things happen. Jackson Riddle with the tackle.
6-yard run for Tagidugu for a Lumber Plus first down as they moved it into Kanab territory down to the 46-yard line. 5:13 to go here in quarter number 1. Got Montgomery wide left, 2 receivers to the right. Jaja Small at running back. Ribeiro, shotgun formation. Kanab showing pressure. They're going to bring it straight up the middle. Moala lowers the shoulder, and he'll be brought down, but he falls forward every time as he gets down to the 43-yard line for a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, did a good job to get 3 yards. Kanab had dialed up the blitz, so everyone was in the box, and he was able to get 3 yards after being hit. Probably a loss of 1 had he gone down when he was hit.
Yeah. Big, strong, fast is Josiah Jaichus Moala. 2nd down and 7. Johnson's wide right. Tagidugu with him. Montgomery to the left. Vaitaki now at running back for the Eagles. Ribeiro shotgun formation. Still 7 in the box with the Kanab defense and a 4-man front. They give to Vaitaki, and he gets dropped after a 2-yard gain down to the 41-yard line. Well, maybe just to the 42. Trying to see for sure where they mark it. They are going to mark it just shy of the 41. It's about a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, once again, Kanab played that pretty well. You had both linebackers there, Franklin also there, and able to limit that to a few yards. So big 3rd and 5 coming up in what's likely 4-down territory.
Yeah, you would assume so with this power running game. They keep Vaitaki in at running back. He's going to be about 8 yards off the ball, back near the 50-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ribeiro talking to his offense as he surveyed the defense. Goes under center, takes a snap. Going to give to Vaitaki. Vaitaki got a block, bounces to the outside, has a first down and more as he runs through the defense down inside the 25-yard line for a Lumber Plus first down.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a number, but a pancake block downfield. We talked about the space these Kanab Cowboys have given, and beautiful block downfield.
Right there.
Yeah, right there. You see a great camera work, and first down for the Eagles. They're nearing the red zone.
16-yard run for Manu Vaitaki to the 25. So 1st and 10 as the Layton Christian Eagles march their way toward the Glazers Family Market end zone, Kane County's full-service grocer, Glazers Family Market in Kanab. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Jaja Smalla back in at running back. Barrow takes a snap. He's going to give to Mwala straight up the middle, ran into his offensive line, and he gets brought down after a 2-yard gain down to the 23 or just inside the 23.
Yeah, nice job by both teams on that one. You saw again more space. I think the scary thing for the Kanab Cowboys is the space. Running backs are finding a lot of space to run in.
Yeah.
You're seeing some individual plays, but that much space in a game is going to create some big opportunities.
So that was Karchner with the tackle there for Kanab. Had a nice tackle. Bring him down. 2nd and 8. Barrow in the shotgun formation, takes a snap, fakes the handoff to Vaitaki, keeps it himself up the left side, and has a nice gain out near the 15-yard line, which would be enough for a first down, and it is.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play call as Kanab had everybody up the line of scrimmage. They brought everybody up for his stuff, and Ribeiro took it out around that left side for near the first. Oh, he did get the first down, so first down.
They get down to the 15-yard line. Coach Stowers doing a good job of mixing up the play calling and not just going on the dive, but Ribeiro a couple of carries, Tagidugu and Fa each a carry so far here in this first quarter.
And we really haven't even seen Malik Johnson yet.
Right.
I mean,
they have not thrown the ball.
We're preparing for that.
They've thrown it once, and it wasn't to Malik Johnson.
That's right.
2:08 to go here in the first quarter. No score. 1A state championship. Ribeiro under center, takes a snap. He's going to give it to Vaitaki. Rumbles up the middle, down to the 5-yard line for another Lumber Plus first down, 1st and goal for the Eagles.
Yeah, beautiful, right up the middle. That's just smash mouth football with your line creating space, right at the line of scrimmage, and you can see just overwhelming that defensive front. And too much space. He just has to shrug the one tackle, and then not until safeties is he hit again.
So 1st and goal now for Layton Christian Academy. 1:47 to go here in quarter number 1 of the 1A state championship. Johnson will be wide right. Johnson's going to be in the slot on the right. Going to go Montgomery wide right. Ribeiro under center. Tight set. Takes a snap. Going to give left side. Big hole from Rawala, and he'll high step into the end zone for the Layton Christian touchdown. The Eagles strike first.
Yeah, just too much power up the front, and then afterwards on the celebration, a little bit of a collision, but they made it okay. And so the first touchdown of the game goes to Layton Christian off that left side. And look at that hole. You can see that on the replay for those of you watching. It was just speed and power into the end zone.
So they'll bring on the kicker to kick the extra point now, will Layton Christian Academy, as Davi Paulino comes on to kick it.
Paulino, a Brazilian name.
Snap is good. Kick is blocked. As was it Dea that got in there for the Cowboys? Yes, it was. Brandon Dea with the blocked extra point. So with a minute and a half to go in the first quarter in the 1A state championship on the Kane County Hospital scoreboard, it is Layton Christian 6, Kanab 0 on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network. TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and V6 Media. You know what's better than a hardware store? A hardware store with a lumber mill. And even better, a hardware store lumber mill that carries top-rated Benjamin Moore and Clark Kensington paint. Plus, their color matching technology allows them to match any color. And you know what's better than an Ace hardware store? A locally owned Ace hardware store. Fish Lake Lumber in Beaver.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Live high school sports action on Centricom Channel 10, V6 Media, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
We're back here at Greater Zion Stadium on the campus of Utah Tech University for the 1A state championship game. 6-0 Layton Christian, after they put together a really nice 67-yard drive on 11 plays, capped off by a 5-yard touchdown by Josiah Jaitrus Mawala. The extra point was blocked by Brandon Dea. Now Paulino with the kick. It's going to be taken by Derek Brown straight up the middle. Has some room to run. Bounces to the far side of the field out across the 40 to the 45-yard line. A nice return for Derek Brown there for the Kanab Cowboys.
Yeah, he gets all the way out to the 46-yard line. That sets up some good field position for the Cowboys. That drive by Layton Christian, 5 minutes and 34 seconds, and that was just a power drive.
Yeah.
You said 67 yards, but it featured just a lot of power football. And that kind of a drive will open up the playbook in later drives.
So 1st and 10 for the Cowboys, trying to answer. They'll go to have, I believe, that Sims wide left. They're going to bring the tight end James and wingback Stewart to the left side as well. Bone takes a snap. They're going to give it to Franklin off the left side. Franklin gets it driven back after a 2-yard gain to the 48-yard line. And that'll make it 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, 3 Layton Christian Eagles just there to receive 78 for Layton Christian. There's blocking the hole.
That was Randy Anderson, sophomore D tackle for Layton Christian. That makes it so that Kanab now has -1 rushing yard on the game so far.
That's rough.
That's a team that wants to run the football. They're going to shift to the whole line now. Griffin Bone comes under center as everyone gets set, takes a snap. Going to give to Franklin off the right side. Found a little seam as he gets across midfield down to the 48-yard line to make it 3rd and about 4 yards.
You see that with Parker Franklin. He doesn't need a whole lot of room, and he'll if he can find a seam and a small spot, you can see him squirting through. You'll see that in these games. You'll see all of a sudden Franklin will just come through the line and be running downfield.
Took a shot to the knee as he got tackled low there. So 3rd and 4 now for the Cowboys. Depending on what they get here, we might see them go for it on 4th down. Going to shift the whole line again. Bone under center. Takes a snap. Going to give to Grubler. Grubler tries to get the edge. Cuts up field. And he'll be brought down right at the line of scrimmage. It looked like he was going to get brought for a loss. He was able to avoid the hand of Matthew Bailiff just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he did. As you mentioned, a really good job getting back to the line of scrimmage. Actually will gain almost 1 on the play. He was in trouble right at the first. And was fortunate to go back. Good team pursuit speed by Layton Christian on that left edge.
That's how the first quarter comes to an end. The 1A state championship football game here at Greater Zion Stadium on the Kane County Hospital scoreboard. Layton Christian 6, Kanab 0 on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network. TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and V6 Media.
Edge Tire Pros in Nephi is the smart choice for a new set of tires for your pickup, work vehicle, or passenger car. The technicians at Edge Tire Pros provide trustworthy service on oil changes, brake work, and suspension accessories like lift kits, bed liners, and custom rims. Choose from a wide variety of tires, including Cooper, BF Goodrich, and Michelin, with a nationwide warranty on free flat tire repair, free rotation, and free road hazard. For a limited time, get the Edge Bronze oil change for just $19.99. Edge Tire Pros, across the street from Parks Home Furnishings on Main Street in Nephi.
Live high school sports action on Centricom Channel 10, V6 Media, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Second quarter we go as you get a shot of the Kanab crowd here at Greater Zion Stadium. The Kanab, as always, travels well. And is that Beaver down in the far south corner?
I believe it is. You've got a pretty big blue contingent over there. I'm watching from the visitor side.
So 4th and, well, they didn't do the change right. It should be, there it is, 4th and 4. Going left to right now are the Cowboys. Bone under center. Tries to get Layton Christian to jump. They do not do it as Brown went in motion. Brown sets. Bone takes a snap. Going to fake the handoff. Look to pass. Pump fake. Now look downfield. He's going to throw. Waylon White is being held all over the place, and the flag will fly as a pass interference will come in, and that'll give Kanab a Lumber Plus first down.
Yeah, that's not a hard call, and Layton Christian had pretty good coverage on that, but White had the advantage, and as you called it live, holding all over the place. That was an easy one.
So it's either going to be the pass interference or the holding. We'll see what they end up going with.
Yeah, huge break either way as that keeps this drive alive for Kanab. We talked about earlier defense, number 5,
10-yard penalty.
That one's a 10-yard holding penalty, so it takes him down to the 38-yard line. First penalty of the game goes on Layton Christian.
Let's take a look at this on the replay, see what we can see. Bone does a nice job extending this out. He doesn't have a lot. He knows it's 4th down, so he lofts it out there. And you can see the hold, hand on the shoulder, holding down Waylon White.
Up after a 2-yard gain down to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, short gain might set up some other things. We haven't seen much Case and James yet, and Coach Sauer talked about the fact he was going to double team and try to keep him out. Other than that one pass play, it's been other players stepping up.
So 2nd down and 8 now for the Cowboys, trailing 6-0 in this 1A state championship football game. They'll go James tight left, Bone under center. Receivers Brown to the left. The wing to the left. Bone takes a snap. Going to give to Waylon White in the backfield. Tries to get to the edge. Cuts upfield as he got a block, and he's going to pick up 5 yards down to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, a nice run by White as he followed the blocker, and the temptation to overrun the blocker would have been a disaster on that play. Did a good job of waiting enough and picking up the yards that he could gain on the play. He had heavy pursuit from behind.
His first carry of the game. He doesn't have a lot of carries on the year. He had just the 1 carry last week for 4 yards. That came in the second half. This time he gets a first half carry for a nice 5-yard gain, making it 3rd and 3. And what, again, is likely going to be 4-down territory.
Oh, for sure.
Going to send Stewart in motion. They're going to give to Frank. No, they fake the handoff. Now they're going to come back to Franklin, and it's going to be incomplete as he overthrows him.
Layton Christian did a marvelous job of spying that one out as they did not let the receiver, Franklin, get out at all. They kept him right at the line of scrimmage. and you can see the lineman froze and stayed with the receiver, and Bone did a good job of just throwing that one away, essentially.
Yeah, screen pass that Layton Christian did not bite on. So 4th and 3 now for the Cowboys. 10:35 to go in the first half on the Kane County Hospital scoreboard. Stewart to the left, Brown to the right. Bone under center. Takes a snap. Going to fake the handoff. Quick pass out to Janes and threw it right past him as it goes through his arms. Incomplete, and a turnover on downs by the Kanab offense.
Yeah, tough break for the Kanab Cowboys. They keep the ball for almost 4 minutes. And that pass, again, Bone had to rush that when he did on the screen pass. On that one, just too much pressure. And Case and James really not even able to look up and see that coming.
So 1st and 10 for Layton Christian at their own 32-yard line with 10:34 to go in the second quarter, first half, and a 6-0 lead. Critical drive here for the Kanab defense. Got one receiver to the left, that's Johnson, in single coverage with Derek Brown. 2 backs in the backfield. Ribeiro takes a snap. He's going to give to Jaichus Mwala. Has a nice hole to run through and just gets tripped up by Parker Franklin after a gain of about 8 yards to the 39.
Yeah, Jaichus Mwala did a really nice job. He started moving to the right, saw the lane from the left open up, and did a quick jump into that left side for the big gain.
8 carries for 39 yards on the game now for Mwala, including a 5-yard touchdown run. 2nd and 2 from their own 39-yard line. Receiver to the left, one to the right. That's Johnson to the right. They're keeping Brown on Johnson. Ribeiro under center. Again, 2 backs in the backfield. Takes the snap. Fakes the handoff to Mwala. Gives it to Tagidugu. Hit in the backfield by Holder, and he'll be dropped for a loss back to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, Kanab with a nice job that time coming off the edge and able to get the ball carrier in the backfield. Brings up a big 3rd down for Layton Christian.
3-yard loss on the carry by Eli Tagidugu. 3rd and 5. Jaden Holder got back there to lead the charge. Several others helping with the play.
Franklin and Riddle both there helping as he was having a hard time bringing down the ball carrier.
So 3rd and 5. They got Johnson wide right, one receiver to the left, twins to the right. Deep in the backfield is Jaichus Mwala. Under center is Ribeiro. Kanab showing pressure with Maddox Baird up the middle. And they looked like they got Kanab to jump, but they did not cross the line. They go to Mwala. Big hole on the left side into Kanab territory down the near sideline. White trying to give chase. Mwala with a stiff arm, and White will drag him down to the 10-yard line. But Jaichus Mwala with a big run for the Eagles.
That was a huge run along the left side, and once he saw daylight, you could see some speed. He's a power back also, but on this one you saw some finesse and speed as he hit that hole and following some really great blocking. There was just a race between he and Waylon White.
64-yard run puts him over 100 yards on the day as it takes him down to the 10-yard line. 1st and goal from the 10 after the Lumber Plus first down. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. They've brought in Baitaki at running back. Ribeiro under center. As the defense moves, Ribeiro audibles, changes the play, takes the snap, gives the handoff to Baitaki off the right side, follows the lead blockers into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles.
Wow, that was just beautifully done. The blocking up front was exceptional, and a really great job by Baitaki as he just felt his way and then powered through the last little bit. Just a huge hole. So you look at that replay, just everyone engaged, and he really didn't get hit until at the 3.
Yeah. They are going to kick the extra point. Johnson the holder. Paulino out to kick it away. Last one got blocked by Brandon Dea. Snap is good. Hold is down. The kick is up, and this one is good. So with 8:57 to go in the first half on the Kane County Hospital scoreboard in the 1A State Championship, it's Layton Christian 13, Kanab 0 on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network. TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and V6 Media.
Love cheese? We do too. If you are ready to take on the responsibility and opportunity that comes with being an employee owner, Great Lakes Cheese in Fillmore is ready for you. Grow with the largest natural cheese packager in the nation. Full-time positions available for every shift. Apply online at greatlakescheese.com. Again, that's greatlakescheese.com. Great Lakes Cheese in Fillmore is honored to support this high school sports broadcast.
Live high school sports action on Centricom Channel 10, V6 Media, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
We're back here at Greater Zion Stadium on the campus of Utah Tech University, as Layton Christian has made it a 2-score game with a shorter drive this time as they They end up going 69 yards, but they only did it on 4 plays.
Shorter drive in the time, but
That's right.
But it was all big plays.
Yes, it was. Now Paulino set to kick it away. Going to be a short kick. Brown at the 10-yard line. Will take one step back to receive it at the 9. Brings it out across the 20. Tries to find a seam at the middle. Bounces to the outside up to the 30-yard line to the 31. And player down for Kanab.
That's Jackson Riddle, I believe.
Yes, it is, and he's slow to get up. So they're going to bring on the training staff for the Cowboys. His teammates come to check on him as well.
Yeah, that doesn't look good. He's not laying in a position that looks very good, so hopefully he's okay. Not a bad return.
No, solid return. Got a 22-yard return by Derek Brown. He's had 2 nice kick returns now in this game.
When you can sense this drive might be, the game changer if Kanab can answer, can establish momentum, but you can feel, that drive, Layton Christian started to take over the momentum all on the side of the Eagles. Yes,
it was. Training staff looking at Jackson Riddle, and they are going to help him to his feet, which is a good sign. They're going to help him off the field, holding that right leg in the air.
Yeah, not putting any pressure on it.
Yeah. Again, hopefully he's all right. As Cowboys will have to adjust as their offense will come back out on the field with 8:51 to go in the first half, down 13-0 in this 1A state championship. And they'll have the ball on their own 31-yard line.
Well, they can ill afford to lose anyone, let alone Jackson Riddle there in the middle.
Offense will come out and get set as Layton Christian's defense is back on the field. Bone will be under center. They've got James tight left, White wide right. Brown goes in motion. Bone rolls to pass, looking downfield, nothing there. Now throws under for Sims, and Sims makes a great catch on the sideline. What a catch by Lane Sims into Layton Christian territory, and Bone put that in a perfect spot.
It was a perfect pass, and then you've got to credit Sims as he reaches back out of bounds and pulls that one. It's the only place that could have been caught, and then his momentum puts him out of bounds, or he might have tiptoed down the sideline as he was close.
21-yard gain on that pass to Lane Sims. Did not have a catch last week, but picks up a big one there for 21 yards and a Lumber Plus first down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Bone under center. Brown goes in motion. Takes a snap. Rolls the pass. Looks downfield. Here comes the pressure, and he's swallowed up by a pair of Layton Christian Eagles. A big loss of yards back to the 45-yard line, the 44 is where they'll put his forward progress.
Yeah, they had Derek Brown and Goobler on that left side, but Bone really no chances. He had 3 Layton Christian Eagles, 2 particularly. Just immediately, he didn't have a chance to get anything downfield. And nothing had developed yet anyway.
Right. Now they are going to put the nose of the football right at the 45, so a loss of 7. 2nd down and 17 now for the Cowboys. Back on the wrong side of the 50. Going to shift everybody over. James will go tight left. Bone takes the snap. He's going to give to Franklin. Hit at the line of scrimmage and nowhere to go as he is dropped.
Yeah, I can't see a number, but that was just a hole-filling tackle. The linebacker just stepped up and met Franklin in the hole, and no space whatsoever.
Is it Bailiff, number 7? Yeah, Matthew Bailiff. You can see why he's their leading tackler.
Yeah, yes, you can. As he didn't even move. He kind of absorbed the impact, stood there, and then pushed Franklin to the ground, stayed on his feet.
So 3rd and 17. James wide right. Single coverage. Johnson working his way to come over the top. Bone drops the pass. Looking left side instead, and that's going to be in and out of the hands of Brown as it looked like he might have a chance to reel that one in. Good defense downfield by Layton Christian Academy. Isaiah Vea able to knock that one away.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play on both sides of the ball as you had Brown who really just perfect position. And at the end, I think what you'll see is the defenders take out Brown's arms and stop the final of the catch right there.
Just got the hand on the ball at the end there. So
really
4th and 17. And the Cowboys will look to punt this one away. Return man standing at about the 15-yard line. Line drive type of kick. Takes a Kanab roll, and it's going to get all the way in the end zone. As too much of a roll on it for Kanab. And Layton Christian will take back over on their own 20-yard line with 7:12 to go in the first half on the Kent County Hospital scoreboard. 1A state championship football game. The Houston's Trails and Restaurant score update coming up at 1 o'clock today here in St. George will be the 2A state championship. Number 4 Beaver, number 2 San Juan, rematch of last year's state title game. And at 4 o'clock, we'll have number 2 Morgan against number 1 Juab in the 3A state championship.
Yeah, both good games, and you just wonder if anybody can beat the Morgan Trojans in that 3A game. That's the question.
They look really good. Of course, Juab's the 1 seed, but
are.
Morgan looks really good. Defense is strong. Ribeiro takes a snap. He's going to give to Jaijus Moala up the middle, and he high steps through a few tacklers before finally being brought down by Lane Sims out across the 35-yard line to the 36 in a Lumber Plus first down.
Well, and you talked about high stepping as he just kept those feet up high, and it didn't allow any of the Kanab Cowboys to hit those ankles, and it was just a big gain, and you can see just really great blocking up front, creating the space for Jaijus Moala.
So 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line for Layton Christian Academy. Under 7 minutes to go here in the first half of the 1A state championship. 2-score Layton Christian lead. 2 receivers to the left, or to the right, 1 to the left. Ribeiro shotgun formation. Takes a snap. And he's going to give to Jaijus Moala again. Slides through the hole on the right side before being brought down after a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, nice job for the Kanab Cowboys. Baird on the tackle as he waited, fought off the block, and brought down the tackle.
So 124 yards on the day already for Josiah Jaijus Moala for Layton Christian Academy.
Yeah, he's a talent. I wonder if he's got some offers or looking at playing the next level.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. 2nd down and 5 here for Layton Christian. 6:13 to go in the first half. Johnson to the left, 2 receivers wide right. Single coverage over Malik Johnson. Ribeiro in the shotgun formation. Vaitaki in the game. They're going to give it to Vaitaki out the left side, and he'll be brought down right near the first down marker. Looks like they're going to give it to him at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, Maddox Baird again with the tackle, and Layton Christian is exerting their will in the line of scrimmage, and Kanab's going to have to find a way. And the problem is, if they bring more people in the box, then the outside opens up. Still not a lot of targets deep through the air for Malik Johnson and any of the other receivers for Layton Christian.
Yeah, just the one pass thrown all game. There's an incomplete pass looking for Eli Tagidugu. Shotgun formation for Ribeiro. Vaitaki stays in at running back, showing pressure. Janes up the middle. They're going to give to Vaitaki. Had a big hole on the right side. Bouncing off would-be tacklers into Kanab territory for a Lumber Plus first down to the 40-yard line.
So Janes did a nice job of the blitz. The lineman did a better job, though, just pushing Janes slightly to his left and leaving that hole open. Janes almost in the hole.
Yeah, they just let him go where he wanted to go and just blocked him that way.
Just shifted a little. It's a game of just weights and advantages, and that was a really good job by the offensive guard.
So 1st and 10. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ribeiro under center. Jaijus Moala back in at running back. Take the snap, fake the pitch. Inside handoff goes to Bailiff, and he'll be tripped up and brought down after about a 4-yard gain to the 36.
Yeah, just too many yards on first down if you're the Kanab Cowboy defense. 4 yards, 5 yards, that's a drive for Layton Christian Eagles.
First carry of the game for Matthew Bailiff. 2nd down and 6 for the Eagles. Under 5 minutes to go here in the first half. They lead to Kanab 13-0 in the 1A state championship game.
Casey Janes comes from behind for the tackle.
1 receiver to the right, 1 to the left. To the left is Oakland Sandoval. Going to send Johnson in motion from the right side. Takes a snap, handoff, fake the handoff, does Ribeiro, drops a pass on the screen, able to get it to Jaijus Moala, wide open. Janes dives, can't make the tackle, but no, he didn't step out of bounds. I thought he stepped out of bounds. He keeps on going down into the 10-yard line before being brought down.
Yeah, it was very close, and he maintained, the official right there said he did not step out of bounds. So a big gain and a 1st and goal for Layton Christian.
Down to the 9-yard line. Don't make that the 8-yard line, so big gain there for the Eagles.
Yeah, he was wide open. There's no one in reach on the fake. Kanab happened to sell out on the run, and we're going to get a great look at it. Very close. That right foot may have been right. It was close, but the official there, so very good call. 1st
and goal from the 8. Ribeiro under center. Vaitaki in at running back. Takes a snap. He's going to give to Vaitaki up the left side. Has some room to run. Lowers his shoulder before Hayden Gubler brings him down to the 2-yard line. 1st and goal from the 2.
Yeah, gain of 6. And Layton Christian just, we talked about the keys to the game being the line of scrimmage, and it's all Layton Christian right now. They're just blowing that defensive line off.
So 2nd and goal from the 2 now for the Eagles. 3:44 to go here in the first half. this 1A state championship game at Greater Zion Stadium. Been a fast first half due to the fact that Layton Christian has controlled the clock and just puts the ball on the ground.
Yeah, not a lot of passes for either team.
Ribeiro under center. Waitaki still running back. They're going to give to him. Tries to find some space. Kanab had him lapped up, but he's able to spin into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles.
Just too much power as he did. He just kept those feet moving, spun at the end, and across the plane of the goal line. And another second touchdown on the day for number 1, Waitaki.
So that makes it now 19-0 in this 1A state championship. Layton Christian with a big advantage here in the first half. 3:21 to go in the half. Davi Paulino on to kick the extra point. Snap is good, the hold is down, and the kick is up, and it is good. So a 3:21 to go in the half on the Kane County Hospital scoreboard. Layton Christian 20, Kanab 0 on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network. TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and V6 Media.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's two 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
Live high school sports action on Centricom Channel 10, V6 Media, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
We're back here at Greater Zion Stadium on the campus of Utah Tech University. 20-0, Layton Christian Academy leads Kanab in the 1A football state championship. Paulino on to kick it away now after the 80-yard drive on 8 plays. Capped off with a 2-yard touchdown run by Manu Waitaki.
Yeah, almost 4 minutes off the clock on the drive.
Paulino with the kick. This one's a deeper kick by Paulino. Brown drifts back. He'll catch it at the 2-yard line. Brings it out across the 10 to the 15. And tripped up and brought down to the 17-yard line. I believe that was Tagi Dugu that makes the tackle there for... Nope, that was not Tagi Dugu. That was Isaiah Vea for Layton Christian.
Yeah, nice open field tackle. And Layton Christian feeling good as they've really, owned the line of scrimmage. Now, how does that change things for Kanab? Kanab, a wing T kind of offense, so they're more of that running... Bone's a great passer, so it's not like they're a one-dimensional team, but it does force them to change the offense a bit. It tightens the playbook.
Well, they've only got 3 rushing yards so far. They have 39 passing yards, and we were talking about it in the break. They've got to find a way to get Case and Janes involved, whether that's we've seen them hand the ball to him before, whether that's through the running game or just trying to get him out in space and give him an opportunity to catch a pass.
Problem is Bone hasn't had a lot of time on the passes he's attempted.
You're going to go 2 receivers to the left, Janes wide left, Bone in the shotgun formation, showing pressure. He's going to take the snap, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, able to break through 1 tackle, gets across the 20 to the 21-yard line for a 4-yard gain or 3-yard gain.
Yeah, Bailiff thought he had an opportunity to grab the jersey, but Bone able to squeak through and pull his jersey out of his hand. Those of you watching on the streaming, as that jersey out, and actually it came loose. He had a hold of his either the belt or slipped it in the belt.
So about to the 22-yard line, so it'll be about a close to a 3.5, 4-yard gain for Bone. So second down, about 6.5. Can you go 2 receivers to the left with Janes and White. Shotgun formation for Bone. Pressure showing again, takes a snap. This time he gives the handoff to Franklin, and he is just swallowed up immediately at the 23-yard line for a gain of 1.5 yards.
Yeah, very short gain on the play. And I was watching the receivers up to see what Layton Christian's doing with Case and Janes, and you can see they have a DB straight up front, and the safety shifts to his side each time for anything underneath. Just exactly what the coach said he was going to do in the pregame.
So 3rd down and 5 now for the Cowboys, their own 23-yard line. 2:13 to go here in the first half. They trail Layton Christian 20-0 in this 1A state championship game. 2 receivers will go to the left. Stewart, the wing back, to the right. Bone in the shotgun formation. Franklin to his left in the backfield. Takes the snap. Pressure comes again by Layton Christian. Quick pass in the slant to Janes. And that one will be incomplete. He wanted the penalty, did not get it. It'll be 4th and 5 for the Cowboys.
Yeah, covered tightly, and tough break for the Kanab Cowboys. The ball thrown fairly well. The coverage also, pretty close.
So 4th and 5. The punt team going to come on for the Cowboys with 1:53 to go in the first half.
You wonder if this creates a bit of desperation for the Cowboys. under 2 minutes left in the half. You can't let Layton Christian score another one, so I'm guessing they'll punt on this, but the body language not the greatest for the Cowboys right now.
Bowen takes a snap and does just do a quick punt. That one's going to be caught at the 36-yard line. Bringing it back, has some room. A flag will fly on the near side of the 40-yard line. Tagidugu, it spins down to the 30-yard line in Kanab territory, but there is a flag back at the end. Well, not quite even to the 50-yard line on the Layton Christian side.
Yeah, it was thrown very quickly, and but what
and
a great
on this
run.
Near side too.
Oh yeah, 2 of them. So say that again.
Tagidugu.
Yeah, Tagidugu did a great job of he just keeps spinning out of and running through tackles. And very impressive return.
This one is going to come
naught.
back. Block in the back. Yeah, he had a huge hole to run through, but
yes,
the block in the back that came early will bring them back all the way back to about the 40-yard line right in there. With 1:40 to go in the first half.
It's only 1 minute on the drive.
They'll march it back from the 48-yard line, so that'll take them down to the 38.
So with a minute 40 left, I think Layton Christian would love to punch one more in. Their drives have been consistent. I mean, they have enough time for this with the big play potential.
Yeah. We'll see if they go to the air, though, because of the clock at 1:40.
Right.
We've only seen them throw one real downfield pass. It was just a quick out, but then they throw a screen pass for big yardage.
Right.
Vaitaki is running back. He's to the right of Ribeiro. Shotgun formation, drops the pass. Has plenty of time, now rolls out. Looking downfield, he's able to get it down to Tagidugu. He'll be wrapped up at the 45-yard line for a gain of about 7.
Yeah, Sims with great coverage on the outside, that whole wide side. Ribeiro thought about running, but then, let's see, it was Vaitaki on that side. He flashed open and caught the pass.
It might have been Montgomery on the catch there. Couldn't quite tell if it was 20 or 22. But a 6-yard gain nonetheless. So that makes it 2nd down and 4. Ribeiro takes a snap. He's going to hand to Vaitaki. Big room to run the left side, and he'll be dropped by Lane Sims. But he has enough for a Lumber Plus first down.
Yeah, under a minute to play. That'll exactly add a minute to play. So the clock stopped as they set the chains. Player down for Layton Christian. And that actually is slow to get up as Vaitaki actually. Stays in the game, however.
Timeout going to be called by the Eagles. So a Honey's Marketplace timeout called. Groceries and so much more. Honey's Marketplace in Kanab. A minute to go in the first half. The 1A state championship on the Kane County Hospital scoreboard. Layton Christian 20, Kanab 0 on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network. TeamHive.live powered by Centricom and V6 Media.
Jones & DeMille Engineering is more than a civil engineering firm. They're shaping new opportunities for work and play, shaping the landscape in the rural Intermountain West, and shaping the communities that they're proud to be a part of. Their offices in Richfield, Manti, Price, St. George, Monticello, Springville, Roosevelt, and Tooele provide civil and structural engineering, construction management, surveys and GIS mapping, and material testing. Jones & DeMille Engineering, shaping the quality of life.
Live high school sports action on Centricom Channel 10, V6 Media, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
We're back here at the 1A State Championship coming out of the Honey's Marketplace timeout. 1 minute to go in the first half. 1st and 10 for Layton Christian at the Kanab 48-yard line. They send Johnson in motion. Ribeiro takes a snap, fakes the handoff, drops the pass, looking deep downfield, has a man wide open, and that's going to be caught at the 15. Johnson high steps out of the tackle into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles.
Wow. What a beautiful play. Now, for those of you watching the replay, watch the play action by Ribeiro. He does such a great job with the play action, and that's what really sets this. As it's been run, really great play action pass and wide open. And we talked about this. We've been waiting for Malik Johnson to get a look downfield.
And if you're the Kanab defense and coaching staff, you're like, that is the one guy you could not lose. It was Malik Johnson, and he got lost. The defense lost him, and he got wide open down the middle of the field.
62 yards?
48 yards.
48 yards.
So Paulino on to kick the extra point now. 26-0, Layton Christian. Johnson checks with Paulino. The extra point. Snap is good. Hold is down. The kick is up, and it is good. So with 54 seconds to go in the first half on the Kane County Hospital scoreboard, it is Layton Christian now 27, Kanab 0 in the 1A state championship on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network. TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and V6 Media.
Having a strong support team that you can trust can make or break an individual outcome. Just like on a sports team, our healthcare team at the Delta and Fillmore Community Hospitals are dedicated to provide quality care close to home on an individual basis. From our physicians to our nursing staff, along with our technicians and many other healthcare professionals, our team is ready to provide the best quality care for our friends, neighbors, and local athletes in Millard County. Intermountain Delta Community and Fillmore Community Hospitals, providing a strong, dedicated team for you.
Live high school sports action on Centracom Channel 10, B6 Media, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
We're back here at Greater Zion Stadium on the campus of Utah Tech University. 27-0. Layton Christian with a big lead in this 1A state championship.
It has been all Layton Christian, and it's big plays. That one was a big pass play. They pretty much, we talked about balance being key. They established it with that drive.
Paulino with the kickoff. Brown back to receive it. That one will go about 5 yards deep into the end zone. So Kanab will have it on their own 20-yard line with 54 seconds to go in the first half, down 4 scores.
Yeah, this is a tough spot, 27-0. And, Kanab, their last drive only took, it was under 15 seconds. See, they received the ball with a minute.
They got it with 3:17 and gave it back with a minute 40.
That's right. So, just a short drive, but, what do they do to end this half? Do you take a shot, or do you run it out and go to the locker room and make adjustments?
You're down 4 scores. Do you feel like you can score 4 in the second half?
I don't know. No, it doesn't feel like it.
And it's the state championship. Doesn't matter if you lose by 27 or by 34?
It does not matter.
So it's me. You got to take a shot. You've got to find something. And they find one to Brown downfield. Made a man miss. Bounces to the outside and steps out of bounds the 33-yard line for a Lumber Plus first down.
Yeah, that was a nice quick hitter. It negated some of the pressure up the middle Layton Christian's been doing. Of course, Layton Christian backing off just a little bit on the defensive back. That's a great play call.
So a 13-yard gain. That puts him over 50 passing yards on the day. First catch by Brown, who had a big game last week for Kanab. First and 10. Going out of bounds, stop the clock with just 6 seconds running off of it. They'll go Janes to the left, Brown wide right. Going to have the wing to the right. Shotgun formation for Bone. He takes the snap, drops the pass, looking to his right, going to come across the seam, and Vitaki steps in front and intercepts it, bringing it back for Layton Christian to the 30-yard line. 25-20 inside the 15, down the sideline before Holder forces him out at the 4-yard line. And another big play for Layton Christian, and they're back in business offensively.
And Vitaki, you said it, he just stepped back. He took one step back. I don't think Bones saw him standing in coverage, and that was an easy one for Vitaki.
He stepped out of bounds. The 15 is where they say he stepped out of bounds at with 36 seconds to go. Plenty of time and 15 yards for the Eagles.
Vitaki switches hands, goes to the left side, and does step out. Yep, good call by the officials right at the 15.
So first and 10. Johnson to the left. Montgomery to the right. Ribeiro will be in the shotgun formation with Josiah Jaichus-Moala to his right in the backfield. 4-man front for Kanab. Tagidugu goes in motion. Fake the handoff there. Quick pass to Johnson on the slant. Hit by Brown, but he steps into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles.
Yeah, 15-yard pass there. That was very quick to, was it Johnson?
Yep.
Yep, to Johnson from Ribeiro. And, wow, just a great play. Johnson with some power as he was hit at about the 3, stretched out, and broke the plane.
2 catches for 63 yards and 2 scores now from Malik Johnson. And it's now 33-0. Layton Christian Academy with the lead. This 1A state championship game. 31 seconds to go in the first half. Snap is good. Paulino with the extra point attempt, and it is up and good. So with 31 seconds to go in the first half on the Kane County Hospital scoreboard, it is all Layton Christian, 34-0. They lead Kanab in the 1A state championship on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network, TeamHive.live, powered by Centracom and V6 Media.
Zions Bank proudly supports our local communities and schools. We've been providing families and businesses with banking tools and stellar service for nearly 150 years. For helping you achieve your financial goals, Zions Bank is for you.
The living room. It's a great place to watch TV. Just like your backyard, break time at the office, or while on the go. Now you can watch TV everywhere. Call or visit Centracom.com to learn more.
Live high school sports action on Centracom Channel 10, B6 Media, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
We're back here at Greater Zion Stadium, 34-0. Layton Christian leads Kanab in this 1A state championship game. Paulino on to kick it away now for the Eagles. And the kick is up, but back to receive. Brown drifts back to the 5-yard line. At the 4, he'll catch it. Brings it out across the 15 to the 20. Finds some room to the 25-yard line. He'll be brought down at the 29. So that's where Kanab will take over. 25 seconds to go in the first half.
Yeah, what a half of domination. You don't see this often at this level, but Layton Christian has picked a great time to play their best football of the season. They look good in every capacity, really.
Yes, they do. So 1st and 10 for Kanab at their own 29-yard line with 25 seconds to go in the half. A lot of changes being made here. They're going to bring Franklin out of the game, will Kanab. Bone will be under center. Takes the snap. Going to give on the dive to Brown. And Brown, after running into his own lineman, gets driven back after about a gain of 3 to the 32-yard line.
Yeah, Preston Brown with the run up the middle, and this time no pass. I think they said let's let this run down. Maybe they'll take a shot right at the end of the half. Nope, that'll do it.
That's going to do it. Yep, that'll be how the first half comes to an end. So through one half of play, it is the Kanab Cowboys trailing Layton Christian in the 1A state championship 34-0 on the Kane County Hospital scoreboard. We've got the Jones and DeMille Engineering halftime show coming up next here from Greater Zion Stadium on the campus of Utah Tech University on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network. TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and V6 Media. The weather is turning colder, which means cold and flu season isn't far behind. So stop by Service Drug today and receive your flu shot. They have vaccines available for all ages, and most insurances pay 100% of the cost. They also offer vaccines for other diseases, including COVID, shingles, and pneumonia. Receive your injection in a private professional environment administered by licensed professionals. Vaccinations are available every day, anytime during normal business hours. Service Drug in Delta and Fillmore, dedicated to your good health and good value.
I'm Dr. Winters, a general dentist in Richfield. I invite you to take advantage of our 20 years of experience when it's time to get your wisdom teeth out.
We offer IV sedation so you can sleep through the procedure. We are right here in Richfield, so we are close by for all your pre- and post-operative needs. We strive to make the process comfortable, easy, and affordable. Visit wintersdental.com/wisdomteeth or call or text 435-896-6444.
Vince Lombardi once said, "The measure of who we are is what we do with what we have." The quote rings true whether applied to our country, our schools, our homes, or on the field of play. We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the field and in the classroom. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com. That's sunrise-eng.com.
Aaron Shepard with Shepard's Carpets and Flooring. We are a small family-owned business and take great pride in our work with every customer through our doors. Shepard's has been around for over 30 years. We offer everything from carpet, luxury vinyl, as well as sheet vinyl, hardwood, and laminate. Shepard's provides estimate, installation, and carpet binding. Make Shepard's your total flooring source. Come in and see us at 410 North Main in Richfield, Tuesday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call us at 435-865-2025. That's 865-2025.
Are you a new CDL license holder? If so, Barney Trucking would like to train and pay you to become a world-class truck driver on state-of-the-art equipment. They also provide you with reliable, courteous support, a fantastic wage, paid holidays, solid benefits, home daily schedules, paid time off, an excellent safety record, and respect. Dependable truck drivers have been Barney Trucking's #1 investment since 1947. Start your outstanding career by applying today at barneyjobs.com. barneyjobs.com.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. On our website, you're not going to wade through a bunch of unrelated content. You bring up TeamHive.live and you're just going to find a lot of high school sports and events. We've created tools that make it super easy for you to create events and stream to our site. And if you ever need help with anything, you can give me a call. So I want to invite your school to join the team. If you're a Utah high school, you can stream live on TeamHive. That's TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom.
Live high school sports action on Centricom Channel 10, V6 Media, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
We're back here at Greater Zion Stadium on the campus of Utah Tech University as we appreciate the great Brad James bringing us first half stats. We'll look at our Zion Pharmacy stat check here in just a moment. But right now down on the field, the defending state champion Kanab Lariat's drill team is entertaining the Kanab crowd on the far side of the stadium. This is the Jones Intermill Engineering Halftime Show. Champions are propelled by dedication, teamwork, commitment, vision, and a desire to be their best. Jones Intermill Engineering, your local award-winning engineering firm. At the half of this 1A state championship, it is all Layton Christian. They lead Kanab 34-0 on the King County Hospital scoreboard. Scott, your takeaway.
Well, I think you said it all. It's been all Layton Christian, every facet of the game, the rushing, the passing. We talked about the keys of the game being the offensive line. Whoever would own that, and that hasn't been close. Layton Christian blowing the line off 3-4 yards, and on the defensive side, they're owning the offensive backfield of the Kanab Cowboys. So this is just total domination by Layton Christian.
It absolutely is, and they're playing really good football. Kanab's going to have to dig deep and find ways if they want to try to at least mount a comeback, put up some points in this second half. It's going to be tough to obviously try to win this game,
right.
But you hope that they're going to dig deep and find something to play for in the second half.
Yeah, definitely. This is a tough spot to be in because, chances are slim if they're down 34-0. But, the pride of saying, okay, what do we want to come out and do? It's going to have to be quick hitters, not necessarily the style of the Kanab Cowboys, but they're going to have to find some excitement, find some quick scoring opportunities, and make a change in this championship matchup.
Let's take a look at our first half stats, again brought to you by Zion Pharmacy, offering prescription compounding services, prompt refills, and friendly service. Zion Pharmacy in Kanab, personalized service from friendly faces since 1984. Zion Pharmacy, your family's pharmacy. And total yards in this first half for Layton Christian, 311. For Kanab, 63.
Yeah, and it was a tough 63, too. It included a lot of loss of yards as well with sacks of bone or just tackles for loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, rough sledding for the Cowboys, and a great offensive performance by Layton Christian. They've done it all. They've done the short runs, the pounded out, the edge longer rushes, and then the big plays as well.
Yes, they have. Passing yards in this game, 97 for Layton Christian, 51 for Kanab. Kanab just 12 rushing yards compared to Layton Christian's 214 in this first half.
Yeah, it's two great backs. You got Vaitaki and Gaitrus Moala, who are just fantastic.
Yeah, they are
up the middle.
Looking at those total yardage individually for these teams, first off for Layton Christian, Josiah Gaitrus Moala, 14 carries for 116 yards and a touchdown. Manu Vaitaki, 9 carries for 76 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jose Ribeiro has 2 carries for 12 yards. Eli Taigadugu, 1 for 6, and Frederick Fall, 1 for 4 yards in this first half for, again, a total of 214 rushing yards.
Yeah. Well, those two backs have those two. I believe they're both seniors, so, both of those just talented. 200 first half, almost 100-yard rushers for both.
Jose Ribeiro has looked very good in the first half, 4 of 5 passing for 97 yards and 2 touchdowns. Malik Johnson caught both those touchdown passes. He has 2 catches for 63 yards. Then Josiah Gaitrus Moala has 2 catches for 34 yards in this first half. Well, no, Montgomery has a catch for 6 yards, and Gaitrus Moala has 1 for 28 yards in this first half for the Eagles. And then for the Kanab Cowboys, they look to find something. Parker Franklin, 5 carries for just 8 yards here in half number 1. Derek Brown has 2 for 5. Waylon White has 1 for 4 yards. And Derek Brown, Preston Brown has 1 for 3,
right?
And we'll have to check some of these stats here and work with Brad to figure that one out. But receiving wise in the game, Griffin Bone is 4 of 10 passing for 51 yards. He did throw 1 interception, and Kaysen James does have the 2 catches for 18 yards. Lane Sims 1 for 21, and Derek Brown has 1 for 13 yards in this first half.
Yeah, just not enough. Kaysen James and also Brown, Preston Brown. Also, it's not Preston.
Derek Brown.
So between Derek and Kaysen, those two have not enough of them. Because in order to open up the run, you have to make Layton Christian play honest, but they don't have to do so because they've stuffed the run so well, and then the pass isn't open. So I think those two players, not enough of them, not enough yards to even be close.
Right, yeah. You've got to have some playmakers, some plays there, those playmakers. So, again, there's your first half Zion Pharmacy stat check here in this 1A state championship game. Layton Christian leading the way 34-0 right now over the Kanab Cowboys, again, here in the 1A state title game. Coming up later on with our Houston's Trails End restaurant score update, stop in for delicious Western entrees and chicken fried steak with Bob's Homemade Country Gravy. For takeout or catering, call 1-800-599-2488. We've got the 2A state championship at 1 o'clock this afternoon here from Greater Zion Stadium, as that number 2 San Juan, the defending state champs, will take on number 4 Beaver in a rematch of last year's state title game. That'll be at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Scott and I will have the call on that one as well. And then at 4 o'clock, we will have the 3A state title game with number 1 Juab against number 2 Morgan. And Tanner Wilkinson, Cam Wright will have the call for you on that one at 4 o'clock this afternoon. And then later today, we won't have coverage on this one for our networks, but of course you'll still find it with the Fan Sports Network down in St. George, and KSL Sports. You'll find the 4A state championship game with Desert Hills and Crimson Cliffs squaring off at 7 o'clock here tonight.
How do you see that one?
You have to give the edge to Crimson Cliffs, I think, but I think it's going to be a fun game.
It should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot of good football. I think the closest contest should be the San Juan Beaver game, which I'm really looking forward to. A little bit of a grudge match and a lot of fun coming up at 1.
Yeah, I think it should be a great game here coming up here in just a little bit here from Greater Zion Stadium. Then tomorrow we have the 8-player state championship game, the inaugural 8-player state championship. That'll be happening at SUU's Eccles Coliseum tomorrow night at 7 o'clock between number 1 Gunnison Valley and number 3 Monticello. Tanner Wilkinson and Rhett Jackson will have the call for you on that one. Again, from SUU's Eccles Coliseum here on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network, TeamHive.live, V6 Media, all participating in that broadcast tomorrow night. So some great games happening on state championship weekend.
Hard to believe we're at this point where the football season's coming to a close today. It's kind of crazy. It starts, you blink, and then it's over, and it goes fast.
You got the 5A and 6A, of course, that'll still be playing next week, but we've already got basketball games scheduled on our broadcast schedule for next week. So
that is true.
So we're coming at it quick, that's for sure. At the half here in this 1A state championship game, Layton Christian with a 34-0 lead over Kanab as the Eagles looking for their first ever football state championship, and they're well on their way here at the midway point of this 1A state title game. This is the Jones and O'Neill Engineering Halftime Show, supporting local programs and academic and athletic achievements, building relationships and working passionately as a winning combination. 34-0 Layton Christian over Kanab at the half on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network, TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and V6 Media.
Mountain Land Supply of Richfield is the Central Utah leader in plumbing, waterworks, turf, and ag irrigation. Mountain Land Supply features an entire line of Rainbird sprinklers and systems for your yard or commercial property, and backs it up with an extremely knowledgeable staff that cares about the local community because they live here. Visit them at 2104 South Red Hills Drive in Richfield, or call for a showroom appointment 435-896-9606. Mountain Land Supply is proud to sponsor high school sports and wishes the teams, coaches, and players success. Discover squeaky cheese, hand-dipped ice cream, and family-friendly bathrooms all at the Creamery, Beaver's Cheese Store. With an expanded storefront, you can explore our farm-to-table story, sample our signature cheeses, enjoy breakfast or lunch at the Creamery kitchen, or shop some of Utah's favorite products from specialty cheeses to local honey and jam. Stop on in and discover what the excitement is all about. Visit the Creamery in Beaver at 165 South, 500 West, now open Sundays noon to 6 and extended hours Thursdays and Fridays until 8 p.m.
There is an athlete in all of us that helps us accomplish the ordinary and the extraordinary. Every once in a while, we all need some help. At Sevier Valley Hospital, we are proud to care for you and our community, wherever you are in your athletic journey.
The big rig trucks of Robinson Transport of Salina have been rolling down Utah highways since the 1940s, supplying the energy needs of Utah and surrounding states. They're a family-owned business that supports the community. Robinson Transport also has a division that offers all types of cement work, gravel, and decorative rock. If you'd like to join the trustworthy team of Robinson Transport drivers or need cement work, call 435-529-7472, 529-7472, or upload your application online at RobinsonTransportUtah.com.
You know what's better than a hardware store? A hardware store with a lumber mill. And even better, a hardware store lumber mill that carries top-rated Benjamin Moore and Clark Kensington paint. Plus, their color matching technology allows them to match any color. And you know what's better than an Ace Hardware store? A locally owned Ace Hardware store. Fish Lake Lumber in Beaver.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Rocky Mountain Turf Farm prides themselves on being family-owned and operated for 45 years. They offer locally grown Kentucky bluegrass with multiple varieties available, WaterStar certified options included. Sod is cut and delivered daily with install options available from residential to commercial. They even guarantee their grass sod to be disease-free, weed-free, alive, and growing. For more info and to see different options available, visit RockyMTNTurf.com. That's RockyMTNTurf.com.
Love cheese? We do too. If you are ready to take on the responsibility and opportunity that comes with being an employee owner, Great Lakes Cheese in Fillmore is ready for you. Grow with the largest natural cheese packager in the nation. Full-time positions available for every shift. Apply online at GreatLakesCheese.com. Again, that's GreatLakesCheese.com. Great Lakes Cheese in Fillmore is honored to support this high school sports broadcast.
Live high school sports action on Centracom Channel 10, B6 Media, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Welcome back here to Greater Zion Stadium on the campus of Utah Tech University. Robert Lovell with you alongside Scott Langford at the 1A state championship game on Championship Friday for the 1A, 2A, 3A, and 4A classifications in high school football. There's now 7 football classifications in the state of Utah.
Wow.
With the 8-player state championship game being held tomorrow. 5A and 6A will play next week up at Rice-Eccles Stadium. But here today we've got 4 state title games for you. And so far in this one, the route is on as number 1 seeded Layton Christian has a 34-0 lead over 3rd seeded Kanab in this state championship game. Scott, let's get some Keene School District keys to the second half here. What does Kanab need to do in this second half?
Well, they're going to have to live up to their nickname that they were given by Dennis Aldridge, which is the Cardiac Cowboys. They are going to have to go fast. They're going to have to get some hearts beating. They're going to have to score quickly. Not sure they can do it. I mean, if they're able to come back and make this a game, it'll be one of the most remarkable things I've ever seen. This is a dominating first half by Layton Christian. They get to keep it on cruise control, but the Cowboys are going to have to score quick, score early, and I think they're going to have to do quick passes, try to get get Park Franklin, Brown in space, Case and Janes in space so they can make something happen, and they're going to have to go fast.
Yeah, and yet you have to wonder. We've talked about Janes not being really involved in a lot of facets of this game. If his back is bothering him enough that it's just hard for him to be able to do so. You heard Coach Kornberg in the pregame show talk about the fact that Janes had the back injury. When they were out there for the most part warming up, Janes was still in the locker room getting stretched and taken care of. So he came out a little bit late, and so we'll see if maybe that has been more of a factor than obviously Coach Kornberg was hoping.
Well, and he said no excuses, but when you said, how's your team as far as your health, there was a big pause.
Yeah.
And then we went to no excuses. So, I mean, you've got a broken thumb, you've got Case and Janes with the back. And no excuses, as they said, no excuses. Mm-hmm. But, this half of football, this is the last half of football for some of these seniors. They're going to have to leave it all out on the field.
Kanab will receive to begin this second half of the 1A State Championship. They will be going left to right across your radio dial, TV and computer screen, while Layton Christian will kick off and defend the south end zone going right to left.
We were talking about that at the break, that both of these teams laden with great seniors. So, I mean, this is a last game for a lot of great players on both sides of the balls. Both teams deserve to be here, and a lot of very experienced young men on the field.
Yep. By the way, throughout the game, we are looking for the Kanab Pizza Hut Player of the Game. Check out the tasty pizza specials at your hometown Pizza Hut in Kanab. The Big Dinner Box will feed your family with 2 one-topping pizzas, 2 sides for $19.99. Order at pizzahut.com. Grab you some lunch today. And the Kanab Drug Sub of the Game. The soda fountain has paninis, wraps, personal pan pizzas, and smoothies. And Bobby Paulino is set to kick it away. Brown and White back to receive. Kick is up. Brown will drift to his right, take the ball at the 7-yard line, bring it out across the 15, trying to find some space to the 20, 25, and out to the 30-yard line is where he'll be brought down. And that's where Kanab will take over to start this second half.
That's been the bright spot of the Kanab Cowboys is the kick returns. Unfortunately for Kanab, they've had lots of opportunities, but Brown's done a nice job of going straight up the middle on the kick return.
Yes, he has. So 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line for the Kanab Cowboys. They're going to make some changes offensively as they're going to run Derek Brown on. Gubler comes off for Kanab. We're going to have Case and Janes at that running back position. Parker Franklin at fullback. Brown wide right. Bone under center. Takes a snap. They're going to give to James, and they're going to run the halfback pass. Looking downfield, he throws. There's great coverage by the Eagles. Lots of flags will fly as they were looking for Derek Brown, and Nate Stewart was there as well.
Now this is going to be interesting to see what this call is, whether it's the defensive player tackling or whether it was a hold on the defense. Defensive player being tackled by the offense. This could go either way.
Layton Christian didn't like it, but both officials that were on there threw the flags. Get the call from the white hat. Can't be a defensive hold. Second time we've seen that happen on the Layton Christian defense. So a marcher forward to the 40-yard line and a Lumber Plus first down.
You know, that was a dangerous pass. You can see the replay coming up now. James going back, doing his Griffin Bone impersonation. He steps back and he just throws that up. And again, why not? You give it a chance. And yeah, there is the hold. You can actually see the Kanab receiver being held back.
Bone takes a snap. He hands to Gubler. Gubler following the lead block of Preston Houston, cuts upfield out to the 45-yard line. It's going to be a gain of about 5 yards.
Yeah, that might be one of the most open blocking plays we've seen in this entire game. I can remember one of them by Franklin, but Gubler had a nice spot on that left side where he could follow a blocker downfield.
So second down and 5 now for the Cowboys. Sims wide left. Bone under center. Sends Stewart in motion, takes a snap. Give on the handoff to Gubler again. He hits the hole hard, and he's out near the first down marker. Looks to be about a yard shy after a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, driven back 5 yards after, but he does get right near the yard to gain as he's to the 49. Needs one more.
So 3rd and 1 for the Cowboys after a couple of nice, well-designed plays to get the freshman involved.
Yeah, I can't see the number of the Layton Christian safety that met.
Johnson's been playing safety, Malik Johnson. Everybody shifts for.
I think it was Ellis, actually.
Kanab. They're going to hand off to Franklin on the left side, and he gets driven back. He's not going to get there. He's going to pick up about a foot, but not enough for a first down. So 4th and short right near midfield.
Yeah, and I would say, you know, as you've mentioned a couple times, this is definitely, I think everything's 4-down territory at this point, down 34-0. And why not?
And where they spotted that gave him a pretty good spot. I mean, they're inches shy at the first down. Bone will be under center.
You look at that defensive line of Layton Christian. You go right up in the gut. There you go.
Yep, and that's what he will do. He's going to get across the 50 for a Lumber Plus first down for the Cowboys.
Now, if this were basketball, I would give Parker Franklin an assist. As I don't know if Griffin Bone's happy, but if you watch this, watch Franklin just push right in the back of Griffin Bone, drive him forward for the first down.
Takes him down to the 49-yard line. So 1st and 10 from the LCA 49. Bone under center. Takes the snap. Fakes the handoff. Rolls the pass. Pressure from behind. Throws underneath route. And that's going to be incomplete. He's looking for Franklin. And now flag's going to come in on a likely roughing the passer call.
Yeah, we'll have to see the replay. I watched the ball release. Really wasn't open intended for Parker Franklin. Great coverage by Layton Christian. We'll have to see what happened.
Matthew Bailiff not happy about it. Let's see.
Well, I can
raised
see
his arms in disgust.
Griffin Bone laying on the turf with the player on top. Yep, roughing the passer. Personal foul.
So that'll take him down to the 34-yard line. That's the 4th penalty of the game on Layton Christian for 45 yards. No penalties today on Kanab.
Yeah, here's the replay. So you can see Bone rolling to his left. He's under heavy pressure and gets hit at the end. Right up the middle, not much there for Kanab either.
That'll make it 2nd down and long. They're under the 33.
So James coming out of the game, taking a break as they bring in new players.
That was Preston Brown that got the carry in that last play. Going to keep Brown in there at that fullback position. Bone under center. Takes a snap, give to Brown again, straight up the middle, and gets driven back. They're going to say he got back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
Yeah, Bailiff just stepped right in, and he is a man among boys from that middle linebacker position. He just stepped right into the hole and just manhandled the ball carrier. Wow, what a play.
So 3rd and 9 for the Cowboys at the Layton Christian 34-yard line, 8:50 to go here in the 3rd quarter, down 34-0 in the 1A state championship. Bowen under center. They send Gubler in motion. Take the snap, fake the handoff, drop the pass, throws back over to Derek Brown. He's got a first down and more inside the 20 to the 15 as he lowers the shoulder down to the 12-yard line. A big Lumber Plus first down for the Cowboys.
You know, some credit for the Kanab offensive line is that's one of the few times that Griffin Bowen has had some great, coverage. And so he had time to get that pass off. That one was slow developing, but that time Derek Brown breaks into the open and as the linebacker bit on the play action.
So 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line now for Kanab. We've got Sims to the left, Baird tight right. Preston Brown still at fullback. They take the snap. They're going to give to Gubler. Gubler has a hole up the middle, and he scampers into the end zone. The freshman with the touchdown run for the Cowboys.
Well, 12 yards for Gubler, and that's exactly what Kanab needed. So they made a statement coming out and able to score on the first drive of the second half. And they burned some clock, almost 4 minutes off the clock. But Gubler with a great drive and great blocking up front by the Cowboys, 59-75. So that's Holder and Karchner clearing the way.
5 carries for 19 yards on the game now for Hayden Gubler. He had 3 carries on that drive for 21 yards and a score.
Is Gubler he has the broken thumb, correct?
Yep.
So playing injured.
Bone on to kick the extra point now for the Cowboys. They just needed one more lineman out there.
An important thing.
Snap is good. Hold is down. The kick is up, and it is good. So with 8:10 to go in the third quarter on the Kane County Hospital scoreboard, the Cowboys are on the board, but they trail Layton Christian 34-7 in the 1A state championship on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network. TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and V6 Media.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's 2 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
Live high school sports action on Centricom Channel 10, V6 Media, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
We're back here at Greater Zion Stadium. At 34-7 now is your score. The Layton Christian Eagles lead the Kanab Cowboys. Layton Christian getting ready for a potential onside kick.
They have 9 players within 10 yards.
Bowen with the approach. Kick is away. He's just going to kick that one away inside the 10-yard line. It'll be taken at the 6-yard line. And bringing it out across the far side of the field is, I believe, Tagi Dugu, and he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line.
You know, Tagi Dugu tried to actually stop. He ended up falling on a Kanab player. He took an extra shot because of it.
So they'll have the 22-yard line with 8:03 to go in the third quarter, leading 34-7 for Layton Christian Academy.
Yeah, Hayden Gubler, the freshman who just scored the touchdown, just kept a hold of the ball carrier. 22.
So Ribeiro will run the play call in from the sideline and get his offense set. They're going to bring Johnson wide left. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Tagi Dugu is to the left. Chachas Mawala in at running back. They're going to move him to the right side of Ribeiro in the backfield. Shotgun formation. Still a 4-man front for Kanab. They give to Mawala as he gets across the line of scrimmage to the 25, 26-yard line for a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, 4-yard gain. Good coverage by the Cowboys coming up the middle. The linebackers coming up 55 on the tackle. That's Preston Houston.
So 2nd down and 6 now for the Eagles with a 34-7 lead, 7:45 to go here in the third quarter.
As you mentioned, some of these players will be playing basketball next week, including Preston Houston, Kason James, and a couple others, as they'll go from football to basketball. And those early games look a lot more like football than basketball.
Yes, they do. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ribeiro takes a snap. He's going to give to Jaichus Mawala again, and he's going to pick up a Lumber Plus first down to the 32-yard line for a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, I'm impressed by the running on that. You can see that he's just picking his hole. A lot of times when plays are called by the running backs, they'll say, okay, I need to go to this gap. Jaichus Mawala does a really nice job of seeing what was offered, made a couple nice cuts to get some space, and picked up the yardage.
1st and 10 for the Eagles. A 34-7 lead. Johnson wide right. They will bring wide left. Oakland Sandoval. Deep in the backfield is Jichus Moala. Ribeiro under center, takes a snap, going to give to Moala. Has a big hole to run through up the middle, broke through an arm tackle, gets out of a shoelace tackle, and he's out across the 50-yard line into Kanab territory to the 35, down to the 30, before Waylon White will bring him down. But another big run for Josiah Jichus Moala.
Yeah, Moala does a really great job. And then at the end, kind of gives a good, strong face stiff arm. And White fought through it for the tackle. Got to give him a lot of credit.
172 rushing yards on 14 carries now for Jichus Moala. 1st and 10 from the Kanab 30 now for Layton Christian. Johnson will be wide right. Tagidugu goes with him. Sandoval to the left. Manu Vaitaki in at running back now. Ribeiro in the shotgun formation. Takes a snap. Going to give to Vaitaki. Gets to the edge. Ball came out. He's able to pick it up and stay on his feet before being forced out of bounds. After a short gain, a flag will fly late.
Yeah, Tavita Pomei, he did a really good job blocking out front, but he ended up landing. I'm not sure if they'll call that as a hold, but it was definitely a pancake block either way.
They're talking
it
about
came late, so it'd be an interesting one.
During the play, Colby, number 10 on the offense, the 10-yard penalty, replay.
Flag was about 4 yards downfield, so it'll move him back from the 26 back to the 36.
So the side judge didn't call that. The back judge could see it. You can watch on this play. I think you're going to see it on this block on the outside right there. You can see the tackle with the held jersey. And so the side judge didn't call it, so the back judge threw it late in the 29.
And that's one where if the play's going forward and the alignment's going forward, you can get that pancake block. But if he's trying to pull away and make a tackle, you cannot take him to the ground.
Correct.
So 1st and 16. Ribeiro under center, takes the snap. Takes the handoff one way, gives to Tagidugu the other way, and he's going to plow ahead for a 6-yard gain to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, I followed the quarterback. That was a great play action. As good, gets all that back to the original line of scrimmage. So they get the loss back. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Just shy of the 30. Under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. 34-7, Layton Christian leads this 1A state championship football game. 2 receivers to the right. That's Tagidugu and Johnson. Sandoval to the left. Ribeiro under center. Jichus Moala back in running back. They take the snap, fake the pitch to Moala, hand off to Bailiff. Bailiff has room to run. A 1st down and more inside the 15, down to the 10-yard line.
I'm not sure how much they used Matthew Bailiff, but he ran very well. As followed a load of blockers on that right side, outside, then cut back in, and it'll be either 1st and goal or 1st and 10. Looks like 1st and goal.
1st and goal from the 10-yard line for the Eagles. Looking to add to their lead and answer to Kanab's touchdown drive to start the second half. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Jichus Moala running back. Ribeiro under center, takes a snap. He's going to give to Jichus, hitting the backfield, and they try to strip him, can't do it, but he's going to be driven back to about the 15-yard line for a loss of 4 yards on the play.
Yeah, Federkyle, he had the play, could have easily made the tackle. I think it's smart. Kanab has to come up with some strips, some turnovers to stay in this game. It's going to be a loss in either way, but you can see just ripping at the ball.
Yeah, good job of Federkyle to get back there. So 2nd and goal from the 15-yard line now for the Eagles. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Jichus Moala stays in running back to the left of Ribeiro in the shotgun. Quick passing, and they're going to throw for the end zone for Bailiff, and they overthrew him as Kanab put pressure quickly on Ribeiro.
Yeah, Ribeiro hasn't faced a lot of pressure, and that time, Baird, and I can't see the other player who came in, as there was heavy pressure. He had to get rid of that a little sooner than he wanted to. 75.
Karchner.
Yeah, Karchner came in.
So 3rd and goal from the 15 now for Layton Christian. To that fake handoff to Jichus Moala, looking for Bailiff in that hot route seam pattern.
Layton Christian taking their time. I wonder, no play clock today. I wonder if that isn't better for what we've seen. We've seen a lot of delay of games with the play clock in play.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ribeiro in the shotgun, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looks to pass again, but a flag's going to come in. It'll be a false start on Layton Christian to make it 3rd and goal from the 20.
Yeah, very few mistakes in the game for Layton Christian. They marched right down inside the 10, but now going backwards behind there's no chains, but behind the chains at the 20.
4 penalties in this third quarter by Layton Christian. Piling up 40 yards.
Yeah, maybe relaxing just a little bit.
So 3rd and goal from the 20. Johnson will be wide right with Tagidugo going there with him. Sandoval to the left. Jaija Small still running back to the right of Ribeiro in the shotgun formation. 4:35 to go in the third quarter. Pressure coming from Kanab. Fake the handoff, drop the pass, and throwing that route out to the middle again, and that's going to be caught for a touchdown for the Layton Christian Eagles. I believe that's Frederick Faw with the touchdown reception.
Yeah, what a beautiful, beautiful play. And Ribeiro had a lot of time, and he was able to just wait for the receiver to clear. That was a long developing play, and perfectly thrown to a wide open receiver.
So 20-yard touchdown pass. They bring Faw out of that tight end formation, and just nobody picked him up.
So you wondered how Layton Christian would answer after the first Kanab touchdown, and they just promptly went 78 yards in about 4 minutes.
That puts Ribeiro over 100 yards on the day passing. His second touchdown pass. Excuse me, third touchdown pass.
It's been an impressive day.
Paulino with the extra point. It is good. So with 4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter of the 1A State Championship on the Kane County Hospital scoreboard, Layton Christian 41, Kanab 7 on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network. Team Hive.live, powered by Centricom and V6 Media.
Jones & DeMille Engineering is more than a civil engineering firm. They're shaping new opportunities for work and play, shaping the landscape in the rural Intermountain West, and shaping the communities that they're proud to be a part of. Their offices in Richfield, Manti, Price, St. George, Monticello, Springville, Roosevelt, and Tooele provide civil and structural engineering, construction management, surveys and GIS mapping, and material testing. Jones & DeMille Engineering, shaping the quality of life.
Live high school sports action on Centricom Channel 10, V6 Media, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
We're back here at Greater Zion Stadium. A look at the Layton Christian Academy crowd as they're pumped up with a 41-7 lead here in St. George. This 1A state championship, looking for their first ever football state championship, are the Eagles.
Well, Layton Christian did just a really great response drive after the Kanab touchdown.
Paulino with a deep kick. This one will easily go 9 yards deep in the end zone, and so Kanab will have it on their own 20-yard line. And with 4:30 to go here in the third quarter, down 41-7.
Yeah, Paulino is one of those effortless kickers. As he doesn't look like he's putting his whole leg into it, but then the ball flies and ends up in the back of the end zone. Pretty talented young man. Davi Paulino.
Griffin Bone run the play in from the Kanab sideline. 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. They put together a nice drive on their last possession, going at 70 yards on 10 plays. Capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run by Hayden Gubler. 3 receivers to the right now for the Cowboys. Bone in the shotgun formation. Quarterback keeper, and he's going to be wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Yeah, just no holes, as Layton Christian had 3 players that stepped over into the hole. Bone just had to cover up, try not to lose the ball. 22, 11, and 1, all on the tackle. So Tagidugu,
Ellis,
and Vaitaki. I remember watching Luther Ellis play at the U.
Yeah, I've got his autograph.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
He was great. Played for the Lions, didn't he?
Yep.
So, really great player coming out of Utah.
Kason Janes on the sideline on this possession right now for the Cowboys. They've got White and Brown to the left. Going to move Hayden Gubler wide right. And a flag will fly. Illegal substitution. Too many players for Kanab. So,
well, they might need that extra player right now. I know that's not very fair.
First penalty of the game on Kanab. 5-yard penalty takes him back to the 15-yard line and makes it 2nd and 15. 2 receivers to the left. Shotgun formation for Bone. Takes the snap, drops the pass. Here comes the pressure, throws the slant route, and hit right as the ball got there was Waylon White, and it falls incomplete.
Yeah, bang play. And I thought the safety did a pretty good job of not just taking White completely out. He drops the shoulder a little. That's one of those devastating over-the-middle type throws. Yep, right.
Eli Tagidugu.
Yep.
So 3rd and 15 now for Kanab.
All crowds want that to be pass interference if you're on the defense or on the offense, and the defense wants it to be just a bang play.
Yeah,
that one looked like a bang play.
Brown wide left. Tight set here for the Cowboys as Bone takes a snap. Inside handoff goes to Gubler, and he's going to get out for about a 4-yard gain to make it 4th and 11.
Yeah, and again, Bailiff on the tackle, coming from the middle linebacker position, coming from behind off of a block to make that tackle.
From the 19-yard line.
Again, Bone is the punter for this team as they run on Brown for Maddox Baird. 3:10 to go here in the third quarter, this 1A state championship. 41-7, it's all Layton Christian.
Yeah, I can't imagine you go for it 4th and 11.
Right. Bone takes a snap and does get that one away.
Wow,
Two
nice
back
kick.
to receive. Great punt by Bone, and it's going to be picked up by Malik Johnson at the 30-yard line. Looks upfield. It goes right up the middle. Breaks through an arm tackle by Brown. Gets out to the 50-yard line. High steps out of another tackle. Down the sideline he goes. Malik Johnson's going to take this one back for a touchdown. 70 yards for Malik Johnson, his third touchdown of the day.
Yeah, he broke the tackle by Brown, and he just kept going on that left side. Great blocking downfield. No hankies, and our first special teams touchdown of the morning.
So that touchdown adds to the Layton Christian lead as they lead it now by 40 points, and that will induce the mercy rule with the running clock will come into play after this extra point and after the break for the touchdown.
Well, and you and I talked about Malik Johnson, that he was quiet in that first half
Until
the very end of the half, and then that's been all Malik Johnson. Third touchdown on the morning. I had to make sure I wasn't past noon.
That's right. Paulino on to kick the extra point now for the Eagles to go up by 41. Snap is good. The kick is up, and it was nearly blocked again, but it does get through. Federer got some hands on it, but it squeaks through above the crossbar. So 2:38 to go in the third quarter on the Kane County Hospital scoreboard of the 1A State Championship. It's Layton Christian 48, Kanab 7 on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network. TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and V6 Media.
Having a strong support team that you can trust can make or break an individual outcome. Just like on a sports team, our healthcare team at the Delta and Fillmore Community Hospitals are dedicated to provide quality care close to home on an individual basis. From our physicians to our nursing staff, along with our technicians and many other healthcare professionals, our team is ready to provide the best quality care for our friends, neighbors, and local athletes in Millard County. Intermountain Delta Community and Fillmore Community Hospitals, providing a strong, dedicated team for you.
Live high school sports action on Centricom Channel 10, V6 Media, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
We're back here at Greater Zion Stadium. It's all Layton Christian. They lead up 48-7 in this 1A state championship game with 2:38 to go in the third quarter. And Paulino on to kick it away after the last touchdown. A punt return for a score, 70 yards on Malik Johnson. This kick's going to bounce in front of Waylon White and will end up rolling into the end zone. So
that might have been fortunate.
Kanab will get the ball on the 20-yard line. There's a flag on the play after some couple of players, one for each team, got tangled up with each other.
Yeah, that took a wicked bounce. Went right in front of White, bounced over his head into the end zone. I didn't see the skirmish.
Yeah, a little bit on that far side of the field.
Yeah, I see the flag at the 18.
White hat will let us know what happened. A personal foul on Layton Christian. So that'll march up to the 35
yards will be added to the end of the run. First down.
Kanab playing for pride at this point, down mercy rule in effect. 2:38 left in the third. There's not a lot of chance here.
1st and 10. Bone under center. Takes the snap. Going to give to Gubler as the reverse to Stewart. And nowhere to go. He's going to lose 2 or 3 yards back to the 33 or 32-yard line.
It isn't even that Layton Christian actually sniffed out that play. They really just had so much penetration into the offensive line that they were just there for the cover.
Yes, it was. First carry of the game for Stewart for a loss of 2 yards.
Yeah, 58. That's report with the penetration.
Or Ellis, Mike Ellis.
Oh, was it Ellis?
Mike Ellis, 58,
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So 2nd down and 12. White wide right. Bone takes a snap, rolls to pass. There's the comeback pass again for Gubler, wide open. He makes the catch and kicks it into Layton Christian territory as he hits the burners down to the 30-yard line. Before I believe Tagi Dugu drags him to the turf. Max Montgomery with the tackle there, for Layton Christian.
Yeah, great play. Griffin Bone bought enough time. He was under some heavy pressure, bought enough time. And Gubler showed some nice speed on that outside as he caught the ball accelerated down deep into Layton Christian territory. Great play.
39-yard gain on the pass to Gubler. for a Lumber Plus first down. Bone takes a snap, rolls the pass, steps up in the pocket, looks downfield, throws, looking for Baird, and that's going to be batted down at the last second as the pass was just a little bit underthrown, and Ellis is able to knock that one away.
Yeah, Ellis did a great job as he used his offhand to not go through the receiver to knock that down. Beautiful.
So 2nd and 10 from the 28-yard line.
Elijah Ellis.
Layton Christian's spreading out just a little bit. Some substitutions coming from the sideline.
Yep. Trips right. Tight left for the Cowboys. Bone in the shotgun. Takes a snap. Rolls to his right. Here comes the pressure. Just tosses it out for Preston Brown. He's going to take it inside the 20-yard line and knocked it out of bounds at the 14 or 16-yard line, for a Lumber Plus first down.
Yeah, Bone took a shot, did a good job of hitting his receiver, and another first down. Just a reminder, those of you driving and watching, tickets are available. You can't buy them online anymore, but you can pick them up at the venue. So come on down, support your teams for the rest of the day. They've run out of tickets.
That's right.
So.
That's the first catch of the day for Preston Brown. Good for a Lumber Plus first down. Got Derek Brown to the left, Bone under center now. St. Gubler in motion. Quick pass looking for Derek Brown as they throw towards the end zone, and Brown makes the catch in the end zone. Perfect throw from Griffin Bone and a great catch by Derek Brown for the touchdown.
You've seen Derek Brown do that all season long. He waits till the last minute to put his hands up. Bone throws a perfect ball as well, but that's going to be a great highlight for Brown.
That gives him his third catch for 50 yards on the day on a great touchdown. Again, pass and catch for the Cowboys.
Yeah, he puts out that left hand and just catches it. The right hand was occupied with the defensive player. Puts out the left hand and then secures it in the end zone.
White Hat trying to get them to run the clock, as again we are in the running clock situation. Won't come out of that unless Kanab pulls within 21. So this will likely be how the third quarter comes to an end here as Brown is talking to his team. They're going to go for two here. Brown under center. Takes a snap, rolls to pass, throws it back again, and nobody there as two Kanab players maybe ran into each other. They're both down on the ground. I could see a collision, but wasn't sure who it was. But both Kanab players ended up going to the ground on that play. And as a result, there's nobody to pass it to. So the clock will stop with 2 seconds left on the clock in the third quarter. We're going to keep it right here. Yeah, there was a Layton Christian player there, too. Three players kind of ran into each other. And two Kanab players went down, Derek Brown and Lane Sims. But we'll keep it right here because we're going to take a break here in 2 seconds of game time.
Yeah.
As Kanab is back on the board. 48-13 is now your score. With 2 seconds to go here in quarter number 3 of the 1A state championship. Layton Christian with a huge advantage over the Kanab Cowboys. The Eagles well on their way to their first ever football state championship.
Yep, they've been dominant in basketball. And now with football, they can likely add one coming up here in about a quarter of football.
Yeah. Yeah, they've won back-to-back basketball state titles, one in 2A, one in 3A, and this year they'll be playing 4A basketball. It's always one of those things. It seems weird to play 1A football and 4A basketball, but
it really is. But Coach Bobby Porter announced his retirement.
Oh yeah,
for Layton Christian this week. So this will be his last season at the helm of the Layton Christian Academy.
And the basketball team opted up classifications after winning state championships.
They have had some talented teams.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, they have. Onside kick by Bone, and the ball's loose, and it's going to be covered by Kanab. As it looks like Kanab picks it up, but it looked like Kanab might get it right at the 50-yard line, but then a Layton Christian player dove in and hit the ball back, and Kanab picked it up at the 49.
It takes such discipline not to – this is a perfect onside kick, so just a dribbler right down the field. And it's coming up just perfect. Everybody waiting right around it, and the player got a little bit anxious.
Does touch it
knocked
first.
It forward, yep.
And Griffin Bone, the kicker, recovers. Oh, they need the advantage of replay. They're going to give it to Layton Christian.
Yeah, that's boy. Replay kind of showed that it was Kanab who actually they did not touch the ball. Layton Christian touched the ball. And so a tough break for the Cowboys.
And that'll be how the third quarter comes to an end through 3 quarters of play here on the Kane County Hospital scoreboard. It is Layton Christian 48, Kanab 13. And the refs are saying, hey, go to the sideline. It's the quarter break. But both teams are out. They're ready to play. But
maybe
I think we are going to have a pause for the quarter. Maybe not. We'll just go right into the play.
Layton Christian's taking their time. The Kanab Cowboys are ready to go. They're talking about the onside kick.
Yeah. So as a result, we'll keep it right here. Now they need to flip the chains.
Yeah, let's take a look at that again.
Because Federer was right there, but he doesn't touch it before. I think it's Bailiff for Layton Christian that dives ahead there and hits it.
Yeah. No Kanab Cowboy touches it before a Layton Christian player does. And
now they do give it to Kanab.
Okay.
Oh, that they pointed that direction because the quarter ended.
Oh, because the quarter ended. Gotcha.
There we go. Now we know. Bone drops the pass, throws it downfield. He had Preston Brown open, but it was underthrown, so it's incomplete.
So this is a beautiful venue to call a football game. The only challenge is we can't hear very well.
Right.
And so when he pointed, it looked like they just made a mistake. But with replays being available, oftentimes I think the officials do a better job than sometimes the fans think they do. Because with the benefit of replay, we see they do a pretty good job overall.
Yeah. Yeah, they got that one exactly right. We just were confused because of the change of direction. So 2nd and 10 now for the Cowboys. Derek Brown to the left to Waylon White, wide right. Takes the snap, drops the pass. Throwing deep for White, and double coverage and nearly intercepted. Malik Johnson came over the top, took out his own player. The corner got taken out by his own teammate there as White helps him to his feet. Pass falls incomplete.
Yeah, great coverage. There's been great coverage all morning long. And there again, the safety comes over, delivers the hit on his own player mostly.
So it'll be 3rd down and 10 for the Cowboys. Yeah, Johnson, the safety, just came right over the top, and not a hard collision by any means, but the person he hit was his teammate.
Two great quarterbacks in this game with some great touch passes. Griffin Bone I've seen him throw just some amazing shots this year, and Ribeiro, also very, very effective.
3rd and 10. Bone under center, takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Gubler. Gubler has blockers, goes downfield inside the 45-yard line. That'll make it 4th and about 3 now for the Cowboys.
Yeah, the youngster overran his blocker that time. He had one blocker up front that he could have given him some advantages.
Gubler, 7 carries for 30 yards and a touchdown on the day. We have not really seen Kaysen James or Parker Franklin play much, hardly at all, in this second half.
No, and we talked about health before. They kept it tight-lipped, but you're right. We haven't seen either one much, and certainly not on these last 2 drives.
Bone under center. Takes the snap. Going to give to Gubler again. Gubler spins, and he's going to get enough for a 1st down as he spun off a tackle down to the 40-yard line for a Lumber Plus 1st down.
Yeah, did a really nice job of creating the contact, spinning off of it, and got the yards to gain down inside the 40.
1st and 10 for the Cowboys. Under 10 minutes to go in the game here, this 1A state championship. He got hit almost right at the line of scrimmage and able to spin off that tackle and pick up 3 or 4 more yards to pick up the 1st down.
Yeah, Montgomery with the first hit by Layton Christian.
They'll go White and Brown to the left. Too many players in the field again for Kanab. Bone in the shotgun, takes the snap, drops the pass, going to throw down the seam for Stewart, and he does get hit early, so flags will fly on the pass interference.
Yeah, easy call as Stewart came into the middle of the field, just hit slightly early. We could see it from here. Not really much of a question. That'll be 15 more.
Yeah, just their DB on the backside wrapped his arms around his chest, actually let go pretty quick, but still came across and pulled his arms down enough to make it so he could not catch the pass. So that'll take him down to the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 there.
Yep, Kanab in business.
It's the 8th penalty of the game on the Eagles for 90 yards. Just 1 on Kanab today for 5. Bone under center. Stewart goes in motion, takes the snap. He does hand it off on the dive as there's Parker Franklin as he's going to pick up 4 yards down to the 21.
Yeah, we haven't seen Parker much this second half, so I was wondering if he was hurt. Yeah. Looks like he's just fine.
2nd down and 6 now for the Cowboys.
Although he comes off the field pretty quickly.
Yeah. Derek Brown and Waylon White will come back on. 8:45 to go in the game. The 1A state championship, 48-13. Layton Christian with a commanding lead. Waylon White wide right. Bone under center. Brown goes in motion, takes a snap, rolls, looking to his right, throws underneath to Derek Brown, and bobbles it, catches it, takes a shot, and picks up a Lumber Plus first down to the 12.
Derek Brown does bobble it, but he makes the catch. I'm never surprised to see him come up with it, but he made that one a little more interesting than it needed to be.
The pass was just a little bit behind him.
Yeah, did a good job.
And now a late flag is going to come in. Likely a sideline penalty here on Kanab. And it'll be the sideline warning on Kanab. So 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line for the Cowboys. They'll go Sims and Gubler to the left. Derek Brown as the wingback. Shotgun formation. Preston Brown to the right of Bone in the backfield. Takes a snap. Makes the handoff. Quarterback keeper has some blockers. Cuts up the middle. Gets to the 5 and lowers his shoulder as he falls to the 3-yard line. And make it a 9-yard gain for Griffin Bone.
Yeah, he had the option to give or keep, and he decided to keep it. Really wise decision as the hole was there following Houston and number 59, Holder, on that right side.
I'm going to say he got down at the 4, so 2nd down and 2 for the Cowboys. White and Gubler to the left. Bone in the shotgun formation. Takes the snap. Fakes the handoff. Quarterback keeper again. Wrapped up in the backfield this time. Nowhere to go as he's going to lose yards back to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, Report just knifed in there, and Bone didn't even get a chance to get his feet underneath him, really. His Report just came in, grabbed both legs, wrapped him up, spun, and down.
So that makes it 3rd and 8 for Kanab at the LCA 10-yard line. 7:10 to go in the game. 48-13 is the score on the Kane County Hospital scoreboard. It's all Layton Christian.
Yep, clock running down. Layton Christian will take their first. 7 minutes left now.
We've got White wide left. Bone under center. Send Gubler in motion. They take the snap, roll left. Now they come back to the right. Throw back across for Derek Brown. Open for the touchdown. Nice pass from Bone as he floated it over the linebackers.
When he waited till the very last second. That play was a little slow in developing, and Bone did a great job of waiting. And then when Brown came open, delivered the ball perfectly.
Derek Brown's 5th catch of the game for 69 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he got hit pretty good as he threw that ball. And he waited to the very last second. He didn't have a chance before then.
So they'll bring on, looks like Kason James will run into the game for the Cowboys. 6.5 minutes to go in this one. Kanab will go for 2 again. I think they're down to the 10-second on the play clock. They've got James wide left. Receiver to the right. That's White. Quick pass for James, just a jump ball, and it's underthrown, and no shot at it as Malik Johnson knocks it away. So the pass will fall incomplete with 6:12 to go in the 4th quarter of the 1A state championship. It's Layton Christian 48, Kanab 19 on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network. TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and V6 Media.
Zions Bank proudly supports our local communities and schools. We've been providing families and businesses with banking tools and stellar service for nearly 150 years. For helping you achieve your financial goals, Zions Bank is for you.
The living room. It's a great place to watch TV. Just like your backyard, break time at the office, or while on the go. Now you can watch TV everywhere. Call or visit Centricom.com to learn more.
Live high school sports action on Centricom Channel 10, V6 Media, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
We're back here at Greater Zion Stadium on the campus of Utah Tech University. 48-19 is your score. The Layton Christian Academy Eagles with a commanding lead over the Kanab Cowboys and ready for their first ever football state championship. This time they bring 10 up within 10 yards of the ball, and Griffin Bone, another onside kick, and that one goes further, and it's going to be picked up by the second wave for Layton Christian as they will have the ball at the 45-yard line.
Robert, those were 2 great onside kicks, and Layton Christian played that perfect. The up guys didn't try to touch that ball. They let it go through. But the ball took exactly the bounce you hope if you're the onside kicking team, as it took a high bounce, and the player right there, great job by the Layton Christian player to hold that and secure it.
I think that was Eli Tagidugu who reeled that one in.
Yeah, that was great.
So 1st and 10 for Layton Christian from their own 45-yard line. One receiver to the right, two to the right, one to the left.
So Judge Moala and Ribeiro still in, right?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Ribeiro at shotgun, Moala to his right in the backfield. Takes the snap. He's going to give to Jaitis Moala, and he's going to be brought down. He got hit at the line of scrimmage, and he's going to jump ahead for a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, nice tackle at the line of scrimmage by 76 for Kanab. I don't have, get his number. Braden Johnson.
So 2nd down and 8 for the Eagles. 5:23 to go in the state championship. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Ribeiro under center. Jaitis Moala still at running back. He's about 8 yards off the ball.
He gets a full head of steam when they hand it off to him.
Going to hand it to him in the backfield there. Has a nice hole to run through. Got a big block downfield. A 1st down and more into Kanab territory before being wrapped up at the 35-yard line.
That just waited his time and let his line block for him. Had a wide open run right up the middle.
18-yard gain. 187 yards on 17 carries today.
That's amazing. It'll be interesting to see was they pick most valuable players for this one, as he's a talent. And you can see he did a really good job of following his blockers, just picked his way, didn't overextend, and had a big hitter up the middle.
So 1st and 10 after the Lumber Plus 1st down run by Jaitis Moala at the Kanab 35-yard line for Layton Christian. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Ribeiro will be under center. Jaitis Moala still in running back. Takes the snap. Hands off left side to Moala. Big hole to run through. Got a block. Flag does fly on the far sideline as he cuts back inside, bouncing off of tackles to the 5-yard line.
They just cannot bring him down as he keeps bouncing off of tackles. Again, you mentioned the flag, but just bounces off tackle after tackle inside the 5.
Far sideline judge with the call to the white hat. Holding on Layton Christian, so that will bring it back, and they're actually going to lose 11 yards because it sits a yard deep in the backfield.
Right, so instead of inside the 5, they'll be outside about, what, the 46?
46. It puts them over 100 yards of penalties in the game.
And that negated a really nice run, kind of one of those just signature run for Jaitis Moala.
1st and 21 at the 46-yard line.
So 1st and 21 for the Eagles. Down to 4:05 to go in the 4th quarter of this 1A state championship. Two receivers to the right. Under center is Ribeiro. They brought Waitaki in running back. They fake the handoff there, looking for the pass downfield. They throw deep for Johnson. Brown in coverage. It's underthrown, and Johnson couldn't quite come back and grab it as it falls incomplete.
Yeah, and Brown couldn't actually find the ball either. He just kind of threw up his hands. The ball was a little bit behind the receiver, so he couldn't adjust all the way for the ball. Brown did a good job of not creating contact downfield.
So it'll make it 2nd down and 21 now for the Eagles.
What a great camera view for those of you watching. Brown just overran it just slightly, just underthrown to Malik Johnson.
Elliott from V6 Media down there on the sideline cam. Doing a great job.
He's been doing this for a lot of years. We've spent a lot of time with Elliott. He does a great job.
Sound of ball wide right. Ribeiro under center by Taki, the running back. 2nd down and 21. Going to let that play clock run down. Takes the snap. Hand up to Waitaki, coming to the near side. Has a blocker in place. Gets to the outside. Federkyle able to take out the blocker and Waitaki at the same time. But not until Waitaki picks up 12 yards.
Federkyle fearless as he took on both the blocker and the ball carrier, as you mentioned. And, a fun a fun tackle on that outside. And Layton Christian just chewing up the time and the yardage.
That makes it 3rd and 9 now for the Eagles. After the 12-yard run. Under 3 minutes to go in the game. They're going to bring Tagi Dugu in running back and take Jaitis Moala out.
Yep, he'll get a nice hand, and that might be all for him. Also coming off is Bailiff for Layton Christian.
Ribeiro in the shotgun formation. Tagi Dugu to his left. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking to pass, steps up, throws deep down the middle, and it's going to be, was it caught? No, it was not. He could not hold on. as they went to Tagadugu deep, and he could not reel it in as it falls incomplete.
Yeah, he was actually trying to catch that while he was on the ground. The replay will show as he goes down to try to adjust to the ball, and couldn't quite come up with the grab. I thought he caught it, but the official right there.
So that makes it 4th and 9.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
it still looks like he almost caught it.
Yeah, great ball, good catch. It looked like maybe a good catch. Must have just come through and hit because his back was blocking us from seeing the ball where the official was on the other side.
And the official was right there.
View.
I mean, he was within 5 yards, so he was right there to make that one.
So 4th and 9, they're going to go for it are the Eagles. 1:45 to go in the game. Ribeiro takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Moala, drops back the pass, throws deep down the left side, and that one is going to be caught. And enough for a Lumber Plus first down about the 17-yard line.
Yeah, perfectly thrown ball. Is that the only person with a chance to catch that one? And that is going to be
Frederick Faw.
Yep, Faw with the reception.
So a 17-yard gain down to the 17.
You can't give enough credit to that offensive line by Layton Christian as you watch the replay. They're just really manhandling the defensive front for the Kanab Cowboys. Ribeiro has all kinds of time.
1st and 10 from the Kanab 17-yard line for Layton Christian as they will be able to keep the ball the rest of the game. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Jaijus Moala at running back. Ribeiro under center. There's the count from the back judge. Takes the snap. Gives to Moala. Straight up the middle. Breaking tackles and into the end zone for another Layton Christian Academy touchdown.
So 17 yards for Moala. And extends the lead. Really nice run right up the middle. Not a lot of contact. He did have to break one tackle just inside the line of scrimmage. And after that, he just made one adjustment to the left, and into the end zone he goes.
Puts him over 200 yards on the day for his second rushing touchdown. 54-19 your score now. Davi Paulino on to kick the extra point. Snap is good. The hold is down. The kick is up, and it is good. So with 37 seconds to go on the 1A state championship, it's Layton Christian 55, Kanab 19 on the Kane County Hospital scoreboard on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network, TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and V6 Media. The weather is turning colder, which means cold and flu season isn't far behind. So stop by Service Drug today and receive your flu shot. They have vaccines available for all ages, and most insurances pay 100% of the cost. They also offer vaccines for other diseases, including COVID, shingles, and pneumonia. Receive your injection in a private professional environment administered by licensed professionals. Vaccinations are available every day, anytime during normal business hours. Service Drug in Delta and Fillmore, dedicated to your good health and good value.
Live high school sports action on Centricom Channel 10, V6 Media, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
We're back here at Greater Zion Stadium. 37 seconds to go in the 1A state championship. Davi Paulino set to kick it away one more time for the Eagles of Layton Christian with the big lead over Kanab. Approaches up, and the kick is away. It'll be taken by Waylon White at about the 7-yard line. Had to pick it up off the turf to the 15, makes a cut to the 20, and then gets swallowed up at the 22-yard line. And so we'll see if Kanab even has time to get a playoff.
Well, it'll there's a flag on the play, little extracurriculars at the end of the game.
Yep.
So I think it'll be 15. It'll move the ball forward 15 yards. I don't think it was like a dirty thing. It was more exuberance than anything, probably.
They're going to wave it off.
Yeah, I was watching it, just pulled at the ball after the ball carrier was down, so I think that's a smart wave off. And so that'll start the clock.
So this will be the last play of the game if Kanab even gets it off. Down to the final 14 seconds with the clock running.
I don't know, as a senior, you might want to take one more shot at it.
Sends Stewart in motion. Bone takes the snap, rolls the pass. He does hand it off on the dive to Preston Brown, and Brown with a nice run for 10 yards for the final play of the game. And the Layton Christian Academy Eagles, for the first time ever, are football state champions with a 55-19 win over the Kanab Cowboys.
Yeah, it's a dominant performance by Layton Christian, start to finish. There was the one really Kanab only to be able to put together that one drive when it mattered in the first quarter. Other than that, this was Layton Christian all the way. Just no holes in this team. They were good offensively, defensively, special teams. They have it all. They're good on the ground, good through the air. They were dominant today.
Yes, they were, as they get the 1A state championship victory with a 55-19 win over the Kanab Cowboys. And two teams will line up to give each other 5 here in this one. A great season as well by the Cowboys that falls short in the state championship game. But the 3 seed coming into the playoffs had to survive against Duchesne, and then gave Enterprise, only lost the season last week before losing here today to Layton Christian.
Well, and there's nothing to hang your head about if you're the Kanab Cowboys. You've had a couple of unfortunate injuries to start the season that changed the complexity of your team, but some really big wins along the way, and some tough losses as well. Lots of injuries to deal with, but this Kanab team, to be here playing Layton Christian, I think is a huge achievement and a credit to a really talented football squad.
Yes, it was. And again, Layton Christian, though, the state champions for the first time ever in football, as they put together a great season. They had 3 losses on the year. Those losses all coming to bigger schools, and today they get it done in the 1A classification where they win over the Kanab Cowboys.
Just impressive all the way around, and a lot of young men on this Eagle football team took their last snaps today. During the regular season anyway, and they come out on top. State champs for the first time, as you mentioned.
We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with our Sunrise Engineering postgame show next here on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network. TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and V6 Media.
I'm Dr. Winters, a general dentist in Richfield. I invite you to take advantage of our 20 years of experience when it's time to get your wisdom teeth out.
We offer IV sedation so you can sleep through the procedure. We are right here in Richfield, so we are close by for all your pre- and post-operative needs. We strive to make the process comfortable, easy, and affordable. Visit wintersdental.com/wisdomteeth or call or text 435-896-6444.
Vince Lombardi once said, "The measure of who we are is what we do with what we have." The quote rings true whether applied to our country, our schools, our homes, or on the field of play. We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the field and in the classroom. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com. That's sunrise-eng.com.
Live high school sports action on Centricom Channel 10, V6 Media, and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
And we're back here at Greater Zion Stadium on the campus of Utah Tech University as the Layton Christian Academy Eagles are the 1A football state champions. This is the Sunrise Engineering postgame show, serving communities like yours all over the western United States. That's Sunrise Engineering. And UHSAA Assistant Director over Football, Brennan Jackson, of course, spent some time down at Kanab. He will hand out the state champion, or the runner-up trophy for the Kanab Cowboys, as Derek Brown and Waylon White go out to receive it from Brennan Jackson. Or excuse me, that's not Brennan Jackson. I thought it was Brennan out there with it, but it is not.
It is not. And Derek Brown and Waylon White come out for the Cowboys, taking the silver trophy. With a tradition like Kanab, it's a little bit, they get a little salty to take a second-place trophy, but they should be very proud of their season.
And so they will have that second-place trophy, and now the Layton Christian Academy Eagles will be handed the state championship trophy as Coach Ray Stowers goes out to receive that. And now his team will come out to join him near midfield here as the Eagles get their first ever football state championship.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Look at the excitement on the sideline, and they pick up an impressive season for Layton Christian. Just a marvelous campaign as they take it.
Yes, they do, as they get the win here today. 55-19 over Kanab is your final in this one. They got up 34-0 before Kanab got on the board to start the second half, and then they just traded touchdowns the rest of the way the second half. But too much today for by Layton Christian over Kanab as they get the dominant win here in this one. Appreciate Brad James with the stats today for the Zion Pharmacy Stat Check here inside the Sunrise Engineering Postgame Show. And your Stat Check brought to you by Zion Pharmacy, your family's pharmacy since 1984. Total offense in this one, Layton Christian, 469 yards.
Wow.
And Kanab, 222 today.
Yeah, no, 469, that's just great numbers. And talk to me about the balance, because I think that by the end it was probably 60-40, just a guess.
Well, rushing yards, 335, 134 passing yards.
Yeah, so just a great demonstration. And that balance is so critical when you play in this level of play, a championship, that being able to rush and pass makes you just unstoppable.
Yeah. For Kanab, they, with their 222 yards of offense, 158 passing, and 64 rushing in this game. Let's quickly look at some of the other stats, individual stats here in this one for these two teams. First off, Hayden Googler led the way rushing for Kanab, 7 carries for 26 yards and a touchdown today. Parker Franklin had 8 carries for 13 yards in this one. Goobert actually had 8 carries for 34 yards and a touchdown today for the Cowboys. And then passing-wise, Griffin Bone was 9 of 19 passing for 2 touchdowns and 143 yards. He did throw 1 interception in this game. And
that's a little bit more of an impressive performance than it seems, because he was under duress the whole morning.
Yeah. Derek Brown had 5 catches for 69 yards and 2 touchdowns to lead the way for the Cowboys in that one. So there's, again, a look at your stats here in this one for the Cowboys. And for the Cowboys, it's looking for the Eagles individually. Josiah Jaitis Mwala, 20 carries for 178 yards and 2 touchdowns in this one. Manu Vaitaki, 12 carries for 91 yards and 2 touchdowns today for the Eagles. Passing-wise, Jose Ribeiro was 6 of 10 passing for 134 yards and 3 touchdowns. Malik Johnson caught 2 of those for 63 yards, and Frederick Faw had 2 catches for 37 yards and a touchdown as well for the Layton Christian Academy Eagles as they get the 55-19 win over the Kanab Cowboys. And as they quickly move off the field and get ready for the 2A state championship, Scott, any final thoughts here on this one before we look at our players of the game?
No, I think this was just exactly what we said. It was start to finish. Layton Christian never really in question other than the first couple of drives. After that, it was just cruise control for Layton Christian, doing what they do, and it was an impressive performance.
And so your pizza player of the game for the Kanab Cowboys, check out the tasty pizza specials and get the big dinner box only $19.99 in Kanab at pizzahut.com. And we talked about a few guys, but we like the play of Derek Brown today, getting 2 touchdown receptions for the Kanab Cowboys.
Yeah, and he stepped up at a time, you've got some injured players. You've got Jane's not really at full speed, you can tell. And I thought he did a really good job both on kickoff returns. Waylon White did a good job there, but Derek Brown did a great job there.
Yeah, he's your pizza player of the game. For the Kanab Drug Sub of the game, featuring a convenient drive-through service, modern pharmacy, and soda fountain with ice cream treats since 1916. That's Kanab Drug. We're going to stay with the Browns. We'll go Preston Brown, who came in for Parker Franklin and played well, had 4 carries for 14 yards out of that fullback position.
Yeah, no, I thought he did a good job in relief for the Cowboys.
So there you go. There's your players of the game for Kanab here in this one as we get ready to wrap up the Sunrise Engineering postgame show, serving communities for over 40 years. Learn more at sunrise-eng.com. So that will do it for us here on this broadcast. Scott and I will be back in about a half hour or 20 minutes more like it, for the 2A state championship with Beaver and San Juan coming up next here from Greater Zion Stadium on the campus of Utah Tech University. Again, we appreciate Elliott, Dell, Thompson, Barrett all here with running things for us here at the on the controls. We got Jason Bill and the guys back at the studio. He's Scott Langford. I'm Robert Lovell. Thank you for listening and watching. Congratulations to the Layton Christian Eagles on their 1A state championship on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network, TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and V6 Media.